Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another very special edition of Stone's Live Poker. I'm Justin Kelly, along with the one and only...
What's up, Darren Bradford?
Hey, pound it. Let's do this. All right, guys, you are tuning in for the final table. That is right, the final 9 in the Stones monthly Big Dog tournament. Last Sunday of every month, it always comes down. Today, we had 157 players. Just 9 remain. We kicked this thing off, what time? I think like 11 or something this morning?
Something like that.
So these guys have already been rocking it for like a solid freaking like 11 hours. They're on the end of a bender. I come in, I'm like, oh, it's such a friendly, fun final table.
Yeah, they're all getting a little worn down, but I still see a lot of energy over there.
Oh yeah, no. At the end of the day, they don't, I mean, come on. You get amped up when you're at the end. Yeah, I was gonna say, right. So if you take a look, it was a $300 buy-in. Actually, let's take a look here. First is almost $11K actually. So just enough to polish and take care of your dealers and the floor staff. Very cool. Again, this is Stone's Live final Sunday tournament. Let's go down to the table, walk around, start checking out some of our players, guys. So in seat 1, we have Mark W. Now, Mark W., I think he plays a fair amount of tournaments here. I know I've played with him before.
Haven't played a whole lot with him.
And he is coming into this final table here at 186K. Guys, the blinds are 6,000, 12,000 right now with a 2K ante. So it's pretty solid, pretty healthy blinds. 3.1, almost 3.2 million chips in play total with an average stack of about 350K. So he is definitely about half the average, give or take, but he's in it to win it. Next to him in seat 2, we have Andres R. and 516K. Definitely not shy in the chip department. Now, this is a guy I've seen play a lot of tournaments.
This guy's been killing it all night. I went over there a couple hours early and been watching everybody, and this guy is patient as they come. And when just a tag style, obviously, but he's just killing it.
For me personally, when I play with him, he's one of those players where I see him bluff, or I see him play a hand, and I just instantly think he's bluffing, and he always flips over like the nuts.
He's not.
He flips over the nuts. He's never bluffing. Okay, so now directly to his left, another chip monster here, Jack, 689K, and Jack is our current chip leader right here, like a beast. And so we have 2 big stacks right next to each other. Wow, we have a couple large stacks we go around. Now, I'm not too familiar with Jack, but he's obviously, I mean, to be chip leader, you're doing something right.
Yep.
So I love it. So let's cruise on to C4 here next to him. We have Fox. Now Fox, I want to say that I played with Fox before. He's got the reflective glasses, and he's color coordinated to boot. He loves the Giants.
He's kind of a character, honestly. He's got some antics going on over there.
That's all right. Hey, you know what? That's part of the game.
Makes it fun.
And we endorse it. I love it. So right on. So seat 4, Fox has 143K. Now over to, I'm going to go with Kasim N. Yeah. Now Kasim N, I have seen floating around the room once or twice here, and he currently is sitting at 621K.
Also another player over there that's just being really patient, finding the right spots, and getting it in good.
Very solid, very solid. Now let's go to his left. Another God, we have like a lot of big stacks at this table and a couple short stacks. So next right here we got Wilton A. Have you played with Wilton before?
Never played with Wilton.
Now I've seen Wilton. Generally, when I see Wilton, I've seen him around a lot. I haven't played with him personally, but when I see him, he doesn't have a small amount of chips in front of him, and this is definitely not an exception to that. You can see the stack right there. I believe we took that picture tonight. Wilton is sitting at 650K. So good luck to Wilton for sure. Then to left, we have relatively getting to the shorter stack here. We have Sean B. We have a couple lines of short stacks. Sean B., another local Sacramento tournament grinder here. Did you see anything with him earlier or no?
You know what? He hasn't been doing anything spectacular that stood out to me, no. So he's kind of just, I think, waiting for some good cards and hoping that there's a spot where you can get some value out of him.
Well, yeah, and absolutely. I mean, obviously some of these short stacks are in what we call complementary double up mode.
He's been in that mode for a little while.
You know what? I am okay. All you have to do is win your all in hand. Poker's easy, guys. All you gotta do is win your all in hand. And I'll tell you what, it's cool when you are the short stack to just ladder up. Next in line here we have Will M. Again, one of our 2 shorter stacks. He's at 72K currently. Now I've seen Will hop around a bunch of these tournaments, and generally he goes pretty deep. So there's no surprise here. Even some of these guys like Will too with a short stack, like still fear them because they're only getting it in with the monster and they still play it well.
Yeah.
And last but not least, before we go to the hand here, Rudy R. He's at 65K, so he is our short stack at the table in seat 9. So without further ado, let's get this ball game started, guys. Going into the action. A little poker after dark, as you will. The sun's gone down.
A little bit.
It's a little after 10 p.m. Ready to rock here.
I didn't anticipate being here this late, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. No, trust me. When he was like, yeah, it's the final Sunday tournament, I'm like, all right, so we're going to go live at like 10, 11 at night. Let's do this.
I know.
Absolutely. Cheers. I got my coffee, so we're ready to rock.
I had, definitely more than just coffee earlier.
Yeah, for sure. I need all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So let's just start it off right, guys. Tones live. King Queen suited here from the hijack. Mark, it's 12K to call. That looks like more than 12K to me.
It'll be 18, somewhere in there.
Canadian shooter in the house, what's going on? He says, damn, 11K up top for first. That's like 24 Geo Metros. That sounds about right, guys. That sounds about right. Now over to Kasim, who wakes up with A7 from the big. He folds, and Mark's going to take down the spot.
Jump in the chat here with you. We need these. No, stick those.
Going around the table, look, even players in the early seat there, getting the salad. If you guys haven't watched Stones live before, salads are always definitely good for your game here. Yeah. The plus EV here. Everybody who's eating a salad's crushing it. So there you go. Taking the breakdown. Look at these stacks. We got 4 big dogs here: 687, 650, 607, 5 and some chains. And everybody else is about half or less than that.
Still logged into the Jake's account.
Oh, we gotta do
so tempting.
A little light trolling.
So tempting.
A little light trolling is definitely encouraged when people say logged into the account here. So Sean, good day for Sean here on the short. It's about 194K now with the Annies, and he wakes up with Ace King under the gun. Now, when you wake up with Ace King under the gun, especially for semi-short stacked, it's kind of an awkward position, right? Because the blinds are 612. You don't want to fire off like a 3x, 4x bet and then miss, because it's literally like 25% of your stack.
2.5 is good.
Yeah, and I feel that gives
you can still fold,
and it gets the same kind of reaction that the other ones would get. It still shows you're under the gun, you mean business. These guys at the final table, this isn't like the first time they've played. Obviously, they're deep in this tournament. They're aware of things like that. They pick up on these sort of cues. Oh, and Mark wakes up with Ace Jack. Could be a light setup. Now they're almost evenly stacked because. Oh, wow. Mark gets away from it. Great fold by Mark there. He could have easily, because they're almost even stacked there. That could have been in trouble for Mark.
It's the early open, usually, like, and especially when somebody raises even just small, but they have that short stack like you're talking about, and, like, what else are they going to do after you push them?
You think they're going to go super ship, right? They're ready to ship it.
Yeah, so unless you got a hand that you're ready to ship with too, like, ready to go to battle with, then probably best to just hold it.
Yeah. So over to Wilton. Now, Wilton is going to make the call here, the big blind. And flop comes down Jack 9-7, couple of clubs here. Nothing for nobody. Sean's still in the lead with Ace King high. And Wilton checks. Sean checks behind.
Hey, you hate that board.
Yeah,
though.
8 of clubs peels off. Now this puts a 4-card straight out there, but Wilton's going to look, and he does. You see Wilton do the look back there. He does have the nut club redraw now.
Yeah.
That gives him a lot of hope. And Sean B hates this board. Absolutely hates it. So bet 40K, that's a solid bet, and it just sucks, man. That sucks. That's a quarter of Sean's stack. He can't do anything about it. Yeah, what are you gonna do in that move, right? I mean, if you try to air bluff it, if he has anything, you're toast. I mean, even though 1 club read all you don't like for your life, even though technically you're ahead there.
Can't do anything. That's the key to winning these as well. The key to going deep is finding those small edges where you don't necessarily have anything, but you know that you probably have enough equity, and they show a little bit of weakness, and so you have to exploit all of those little edges that you can in order to get this deep.
And by him not c-betting on the flop there, I mean, if he c-bets on the flop, any sort of decent amount, I think ace-3 is gone, insta-muck, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, we're not playing what-ifs, we're not playing, oh yeah, I could have done that, think seat 9 there has a little, is it a Pebble Beach logo on his hat, maybe something like that? Bit of a golfer, I like that. So Will, under the gun here, waking up with 5s. Looks like we only give out our big hands under the gun. Raise to 30 it is. So guys, those pink chips are 5K chips. So what are they? I think the blacks are 1K, the pink chips are 5Ks, and the yellows are 10K chips, yeah?
That is correct.
Oh, and Mark waking up with jacks. Now, I feel like this is a bit of a reward for Mark, because he already had a lay down ace-jack, very last hand against ace-king. Now he wakes up with jacks.
He probably didn't like it that much.
No,
I mean, nobody likes laying down any kind of ace with the face.
Now, this is interesting. So he was facing a raise of 30K. Looks like he's going to almost click back here and make it either, what, a 60 or 80K? I can't tell. We'll find out.
Maybe... yeah.
Yeah, Canadian shooter. I got my hindsight bias 2020 vision is on point, dude. I'm like, oh, yeah, I totally should have done this. Like, nailed it.
My hindsight's still off. I don't learn.
Even after I know, I didn't learn. It was so bad. So, oh, wow. So Mark has jacks, and then Will does go ahead and click back for the shove. He is short stacked. You can't blame him for that. He pretty much dedicated himself anyways. And that's what Mark wanted. He's pretty much jamming Will in there. So, heads up, jacks versus 5s. Will's in a tight spot here. He's looking to double up.
I like Will. Give him a set. Let's go.
Oh, look at it. It's such a
close
sweat.
enough.
It's such a sweat flop. World of outs for Will now. The world for Will. It's never easy, man. So now you can pick up a 2 or a 7 or a 5. You got all their true outs there at the top. The grayed out outs actually are ones that cards have already folded.
Yeah.
Man, little does he know, 40% of his outs were folded. It's rough. And another 3, no help. Looking for a deuce, 5 or 7. Oh, no bueno. All over that. And you know the thing is, let's say that Will just limped this pot for some reason. Called a small raise from Mark. He's getting it in on that flop anyways all day. So,
yeah.
So Will, thank you very much for playing. Will is going to go out in 9th place for $810.
Good run, Will.
Absolutely.
Those 2 exact hands.
$300 buy-in here, guys.
Yeah, nothing to be upset about at all.
You know, it's one of those things where, okay, so if anybody's watching and, you know, may not play tournaments or may not play poker that often, they say, oh, that's cool, man, you get $810, that's really good. Now, for those of us who have been there and we've gone deep in these tournaments, you know, you survive 140 some odd players, you get down to this point, you want that nut, you want that big dog prize up top, that 10, 11K.
You've had to get so lucky, like, so many times.
I know, it's rough.
And stayed sharp, like, all day.
Okay, so guys, this is what it comes down to. Flip a coin at home, heads or tails, and try to win it most of the time.
Win it like 6 times in a row. And that's what you got.
And then boom, if you can do that, come in and play tournament poker, nail it.
You should definitely put some money on it.
Thinked it out.
For sure. Yeah, if you got that kind of luck, I'll put some money on it.
Yeah, I'll put, guys, I mean, there's plenty of games that we can go. How do you feel about roulette? You gonna call a number? How's in 35 to 1?
Right.
And our resident beast here, Andre, you were talking about.
I was watching his table for a little while, and I didn't see him make one mistake. Like, just really flawless play.
Right off the bat, he's coming in for a hefty raise of 45K.
That's another thing. When he does come in, he means business.
Oh yeah, he comes in tough, man. He makes it tough to call with marginal hands because he raises so much.
Yeah.
Dagon Queen, you did not miss the wig. We might have a little cameo. We might have a little cameo coming up here, guys. So make sure you stay tuned.
Just being held accountable right off the bat.
That's it. I mean, guys. So when you fess up to something like I may be down to be a Veronica replacement, that's a big deal. So definitely stay tuned. Watch the stream, guys. During the first break, we might have a little fun video clip, and you don't want to miss it. I assure you.
Yeah, right. I was like, nobody will remember.
Nobody will remember right off the bat. Boom. P. Rousey, 1 2 3 4 1 2. What's going on? Zaphael, Dagon Queen. Hello, hello. Of course, the usual Canadian shooter. I think I saw my buddy Mr. Optics in there as well. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's a good way to wind down on a nice Sunday night.
You know, I thought about how late it was, but then I thought about how nice it is to just relax. Maybe some people are in bed already, just chilling, watching the feed.
Absolutely.
It's a nice way to end the day, for sure.
Oh, look, there you go. M. Baldy, what's up? My friend says, oh, yes, we remember Bradford. We remember. ... Poke, poke, poke. All right, so we got some mystery hands here. We got Jack, Queen, King on the flop. Pots at 34K. Andre, God, he runs so good. Man, flops the absolute nut here to Broadway.
He just shows up with the goods every single time.
God, and you're just like, okay, hopefully he just has a pair.
Yeah,
and,
right. You want somebody to have some of that.
Just crushed. Catching up with the action here now, Wilton with 3-4 here. A queen peels. I think he was just floating here to see if Andre was going to do a little c-bet here. And the pot's at 118K now. Andre's not going anywhere here regardless, so. And looks like Andre's reaching for some solid chips here. That looks like enough to put not put Wilton all in. Wilton's got a huge stack, but check this out. He's going to get away from it, obviously. But that was a solid pressure bet. That was like another 150K bet or something by Andre there. Top, you can come gamble whatever you want, guys. You're watching Stones Live. We are located here right outside Sacramento, California, right off Antelope and 80. Buy into tonight's tournament was $300. 157 players. I believe it kicked off at 11 a.m. Something like that.
Yep. It's definitely a nice way to spend your Sunday too.
Right?
You know, nothing wrong with a little bit of poker. Get some food, hang out with the boys and girls.
And there ain't nothing wrong with the food here either, for sure.
Who we got in seat 4 again? What's his name?
Seat 4, you got Fox.
Fox has one of the coolest card holders that I've seen.
Oh yeah, what does he have there?
It's a king. It's like a carved out wooden chess piece.
Oh, cool,
king.
but it looks like super tall, yeah?
Super tall.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool. Really fine detail in it, like when you go close.
I like it.
Yeah. Would love to know the backstory on something like that.
Canadian Shooter says, hey, would you say lower buy-in tournaments are the best way to get some live poker seat time? Absolutely. You know, I've told people multiple times, just in general, if you just need live poker, if you need poker experience and you just want to get in the game, dude, I feel that it's like, you know, in poker, for the most part, you can get similar educations in much smaller buy-in tournaments as you can. It's like, guys, you could learn the same bad beat lesson in a 10-20 game that you could in like a 1-2 game.
You know, it's
what
all
I mean?
relative to what people's bankrolls are. I mean, somebody who has $1 million and playing 5, 10, 10, 20 or whatever, like it's the same as if somebody who has 10,000 or less in the bank going and playing 1-2 or 1-3.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about what risk that you want to put yourself in.
For me, I like to just tell people, like, look, you're going to get in these situations where you have like 4-card flushed boards, and you have double paired boards where your ace high is good. You gotta, or maybe you have a pocket pair, and then the board double pairs higher than you, and you're counterfeited, right? Learn these lessons for cheap.
Yeah,
you know what
definitely.
I mean? Don't go play these games above your limit. You know, just taking a crack at it, and then you learn that lesson for $1,000 instead of $100.
A good way to get into it, you know, I kind of cut my teeth on tournament poker because you can kind of max your loss, your potential loss for the day. On just however many buy-ins.
Absolutely, yeah, you get good value. Speaking of good value, aces for Fox here in seat 4.
This guy runs so good today.
The massive chess piece. We've only seen him be involved in one hand so far, and aces it is. And somebody asked right here earlier, who's in seat 5? That is Kasim in seat 5. Now Wilton over here with ace-jack. Oh, how good does that feel? You limp with aces, which is exactly what you're hoping for. You get a re-raise to ace-jack. Now you got Mark over here, or you get a raise to ace-jack, sorry. You got Mark over here, king-jack, who lets it go. Now back over to Fox. Now the only thing about limping with aces is it looks super fishy when you do what he's about to do here, when you ship it.
Totally.
However, relative to a stack size, you look at Wilton's size, you look at Fox's size, I mean, it's only an extra 50, 60K to call. It's less than 10%.
Not shipping it here.
Yeah. And
just bumping it up.
because you know Wilton's going to jam with anything on the flop, right? Because you only have 60K left. This actually gives him a bit of a potential to get away from it, and it looks like he calls in. But I mean, look, how can you not, man? It's 10% of his, less than 10% of his stack to eliminate a player. I'd make the same call in Wilton's shoes.
Absolutely. He'd do that with nines.
Yeah, he'd do that with just about any pair.
Because jacks, he's in trouble.
Yeah, you're right. Any pair, 8s, 9s or higher.
Yeah.
So looks like even diamonds are no good because he does have the ace of diamonds. So this hand's pretty much cinched up for Fox here.
Yeah, running jacks basically is going to save him.
I thought it was going to be Jack. I'm like, it's always this way. It's always this way. This hand is done. That's going to give Fox the check mark here.
Just want to make sure you double count.
Nice hand. Got a little bit of a needle in.
Look, he's like, yeah, I just want to make sure you double.
He's been like that all day. He got some antics for sure.
Thank you for doubling me out.
You can't fold. It's so cheap. Relative to a stack size, it's cheap. This never happens. Classic banter. And that's the thing too, you know, you spend enough time around a poker room. I mean, you need to be able to have some thick skin, have some fun, but you need to be able to have some thick skin. I mean, it's not like you always need to be involved.
Don't take too much personally.
No, and it's not like you need to be involved in the banter if you don't want to, but there are guys who that is a big part of their game. I mean, I don't have to say anything, just watch the WSOP, look at 9 high like a boss. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's a huge part of a lot of people's game.
Yeah. It's effective. I mean, really you're trying to get into people's heads, get them a little bit off of their balance, get them thinking about things other than the game that's going on, and get them a little bit distracted and get an edge over them like that.
And it's weird because you really need to be careful with your table banter if you're going to use that on it while you're involved in a hand with people, because you can really either do amazing things or just shoot yourself in the foot real quick. You can shoot yourself in the foot real quick if you're not careful.
Yeah, it does take practice to be effective with it.
Yeah, just being snarky doesn't mean you're going to be a positive poker player. Okay,
No.
It's not.
No.
It doesn't mean that. All right, under the gun right off the bat, because we love giving out decision-making hands under the gun there. Jack with 5s. Oh, actually, it looks like, I don't know, Jack might be the big blind here in C3. So we might have, graphics might be wrong a little bit. But we did get Foxy let go of there, so did Kasim. Over to Wilton, it looks like.
The action on here on the button.
Now take a look at this. Now look, if you can see right there in the bottom of the right of the camera, you see Wilton's leg? See how it's super tapping up and down?
Yeah.
I've actually seen players get reads off something like that, where basically, because you know, everybody kind of does that. A lot of people do that where they do like the constant leg tap, and if they're in a hand, if they're bluffing or they're strong, they might stop tapping their leg. It's like a huge tell I've seen people use.
Just sudden changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sudden adjustments.
Yeah. Yeah, P. Rousey, you are allowed to watch the stream because you are. We're on a 25-minute delay. We are live with you, but the footage we're watching is about 25 minutes old. So because of that, the players are allowed to watch the stream, see previous hands. No, they're just allowed to watch it 100% live. They're like, that guy's got me beat. You know what? I'm a 10% dog, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with it. All right, so Mark does make a raise here from the button to 30K. And this is the end of this round. Blinds are going up to 8K, 16K with a 2,000 ante.
Now is this right, Andres? Just flats after Mark opens before?
Looks like. So we got 3 players to the flop here. Deuce 3-6, all spades. The only player with a spade, Jack, with his pocket 5s.
Jack likes that hand.
Yeah, a great flop for Jack. I mean, it's a love-hate flop, right? Because if it's not the 4 of spades, you got to assume that there's a general chance that you're beat.
Could be.
But you know, I mean, you're gonna take a shot at the pot anyways. So first to act is Andre. You can see Mark giving him the stare down of death right there. Jack's gonna check behind to our original raiser on the button. Now, Mark, relative to their stacks, Mark has almost 200K. The other players have him outstacked almost 2 and 3 to 1. So that could play into his factor here, but he is gonna do a nice C bet out there. Looks like about 35K.
So now when you see bet into like an all flush board, an all suited board, but you were the person to open the pot. When I see somebody do that, like at least in this circumstance, like really, like I think that most people are gonna check back there almost anything they have. So when you do bet, I think that you can get the same result just checking back.
Yeah.
Like, because if somebody already had something bad, like somebody puts you to the test in that situation when you have Jack 8 offsuit with no spade, now what are you gonna do?
Now this is an interesting card because obviously it does get marked pair of jacks. Any spade makes a flush. Now Jack's gonna insta shift. Well, he doesn't. It basically puts Mark all in by doing that.
Yeah.
So Jack bets 100K, knowing that Mark stacks around 160. He's pretty much putting Mark all in or not.
You're allowed to call here.
Absolutely, yeah, but yeah, exactly. You're right. He is very allowed to call.
He has
Mark's,
options, but...
Mark's, I mean, but Mark is never going to just call you. He's going to fold or raise all in. And the sick part is that's actually almost hedging his bet too, by the way, if you're Jack, which is sick. Because if he does raise and you really think he's got you crushed, then you can actually get away and save yourself the other 60K.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sick.
See, and what Mark is thinking about right now is why didn't I just check the flop?
Yeah. Same result, and then I'm gone. Yeah.
Could have saved himself 25K right now.
Save that money. Guys, if you're just joining us here, maybe it's your first time to the show, maybe you just love some tournament poker, click that heart there at the top of Twitch and follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday streaming cash, and then occasionally, fun nights like tonight, we stream final tables of our super awesome rad tournaments.
Yeah, give us the heart. You won't regret it.
Super awesome rad? I'll take it. I'll go with it.
Can we make a t-shirt that says that?
I'm down.
I'll wear it.
I'm down. I know you will. That's it. Here comes the next bet.
Super rad. I'm gonna name my next pet that.
Super rad?
Super rad.
What's his name? Oh, that's super rad, dude. How do you not know that? Super rad.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to abbreviate it a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta use single syllables, guys. It's 2017. That's when you say like totes off.
Super rad.
Like totally obvious. Come on. That's what all the cool kids are doing it.
I gotta give it to Rudy. Like Rudy's like the master of hanging in there.
Yeah.
Like I've played a lot of tournaments with Rudy. Every single time, somehow he always is just hanging in there.
Yeah, he watches all the big stacks around him explode, and he's just like, cool. And guys, this is what's known as laddering up.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna take a look at these
it.
payouts, they jump at this point. They jump every single position here. So, for instance, the difference between 8th and 7th is $240, right? So he just watches somebody else bust out, makes an extra 200, makes an extra 400, makes an extra 600.
He's very patient. He definitely knows that this is just a game based on patience. Especially tournament poker. This is why you haven't seen me playing too many tournaments lately. I've been playing these cash games, and
Because you just like to get involved,
super
and just,
involved and spewy, and go out before we even get to the first break.
You're just like, whatever. It's smash and grab is what we call it in the cash game.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm gonna buy him for 500. I'm gonna cash out like 2K.
I don't have the schedule that allows me to play as many tournaments anymore. It's kind of sad because tournaments are great.
Oh, tournaments are a blast. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I play cash because it funds my tournament habit." You know?
Yep.
All right, Wilton under the gun here is going to let it go. Sean B. Ajax suited. Again, a hand you'd love to just splash around with in a cash game, but in this final table tournament, insta-muck. Now, Rudy here.
Ship this here.
Rudy here, this might be the time for Rudy, because the problem is he's got less than 3 bigs here. Oh, he's got a little over 3 bigs. Wow.
See, this is where, I know that that's what gets Rudy to this spot.
But this is where 80% of the players ship it all day.
Gotta ship it.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, this could be one.
He needs chips to work with.
He does, and the problem is, I think, and Rudy knows this, right? The problem is that Rudy knows that he's going to get a call.
Yeah.
And best case scenario, he's a coin flip.
Right.
And he liked, I think.
3 bigs, though.
Yeah, I know. He'd like to be a little bit
big.
He's got another 3 or 4 hands, and he's hoping he wakes up with anything better than 3s. I mean, hell, even if he has like ace rag, it's probably 2 live ones, or at least 1 live one.
Yeah.
The Jared Gray, what's going on? Drake in the house, RX, Big Mac Stacks, 99%. Religion PC, welcome.
Yeah, see that I agree with Jared Gray. Just old man knitting it up.
Yeah, just super snug. You're like, dude, I could squeeze some diamonds out of that coal.
It's exploitable at that level. You know what I mean?
It is. Because then when he does ship it, you're like, well, I mean, if he's folding 3s, right? And that can almost hurt you because then you miss the opportunity to double. I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody loves the blinds and antes. I mean, with the blinds and antes where they're at, let's see, what do you got? 8 players now, 16K just in antes, plus, I mean, yeah. So you're 40K to take. So just by him shipping and everybody folding, he doubles anyways. Yep. 43K picks up 40K from just the blinds and antes. But the chances of anybody else folding, though, are very slim, and he knows this. He knows he's going to get looked up.
I'm shipping Queen 10 and
cool.
better right
I ship
there.
Queen 10 all day.
Like,
I should
You know what
queen
I'm saying?
10. I should queen 10 before I ship
The
deuces.
queen 10 offsuit with, I mean, but like threes is technically a better hand than that.
Yeah, true.
That's what I'm saying.
You got a lot of words like technically. Meh.
You know, mathematically speaking.
Yeah, the Jared, hey man, dude, we know, man. That's a beautiful thing about poker. We're all in the same seats. We all get the same cards. We all play in different ways. You
Yeah.
know, that's what makes this game so fun.
It's
That's
not
why.
a wrong way.
That's
Yeah.
why you just keep coming back. You play this game over and over and over, and you've been playing the same game for a decade, but it's still not old yet. You know.
You know, like players that play a lot, or I guess maybe a certain type of player, you know, we like risk a little bit. That's part of poker, is putting yourself, part of gambling in general, right? And so I think that it does get a little bit heavy, like when you see people being more conservative, you're like, come on, bro, take a risk.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of the peer pressure thing, because, you know, it's cool to take the risk or whatever, but you don't have to. That's why he's sitting at the final 8 now, or whatever it is, final 9.
Now, take a look at this, guys. Mark and Andre feel like, I mean, they just have magnets for each other when they're in pots here.
Yeah.
So Mark is raising up to 38K. It's a huge raise for Mark's stack size. And he's hoping he could just walk away with it. He's definitely not going to. We're going to see a re-raise here by Andre with pocket 8s. It looks like he's going to go to about $110, something like that.
Also, another really experienced move. A lot of people would just flat here, but knowing the value of you know, a more than moderate pair,
Yeah.
putting that 3-bet in, it does take a little bit of experience and knowledge of knowing when to do it. But it's really powerful when you do, because you can get hands like that would usually
Absolutely.
open like kings, queen off.
It's funny, then like right behind him, you got like, I think it was Fox who had King Jack was an insta-muck
You
for
also
him.
kind of want to clear out a little bit, you know, the overcards.
Well, and,
that might
and
be
that's
over
and that's the difference between you know, like players who get to this level and players who don't. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, for instance, right behind him, you know, I saw some of my playable hands like King Jack and stuff. I think it was Fox's right behind him. It was an insta-muck.
Yeah.
Where you get other players who are like, oh my god, how can I let go of King Jack? Like I gotta get it in. No,
See
you
two
don't.
faint cards and
No,
you
you
like,
don't.
gotta go with it.
Like earlier when we saw Mark fold the insta fold the Ace Jack pre to a raise by Ace King.
Yeah.
You know, I mean
Exactly.
sometimes you just gotta let it go.
Really understanding hand value is important. Sometimes when you're just starting out, you know that you have 2 high cards.
Yeah.
And, you don't really understand the implications.
And
of that.
Mark does let it go. And Andre takes the pot. So Andre's beastie chip bulldozerness continues. Big Mac Stacks chimes in. It puts other short stacks in a rough spot. You can't bust before the guy with 3 bigs, right? That's very true. I mean, you know, you feel bad when something like that happens.
Totally.
Right?
That's actually one of like the worst feelings. There's running up your stack and losing it all, and then there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to what's right and wrong in poker, and that like, you know, there isn't really anything. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
You know, opinion. Because like I see Rudy going deep in like even just like the Tuesday, Thursday night tournaments, $75 buy-in tournaments. Like there's a little bit of value to be had there if you playing regularly. Like you could make like a regular salary if you did well, and he does. He goes deep in like anyone that he plays in.
Yeah, he cashes on the regular,
Very
right?
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over to Wilton here is going to put in a sizable raise. That's a lot of yellow, guys. Yellows are 10K chips. He's pretty much saying anybody behind me. Oh, small blind to big, right? He's shipping them in all day. Now we don't see what Sean B has yet, but it doesn't matter because he's got a fold. And all day long you're going to see that 5-6 suit. It's a fun playable hand, but you know you're never ahead there. And that's, guys, and that is how you start asserting dominance when you have the big stack. You're going to make that move all day. Ace anything. You got a guy next to you who's on the short stack. You have 6 times the amount of chips he has. You wake up with any ace and everybody folds to you. You're going to put that guy to a decision every day, all day.
Totally.
100%.
That's how you take it down.
And that, my friends, is why Wilton has some chips. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, if you guys have played, there's ever been, I mean, I know you guys are watching and played, but, you know, at the end of the day, there's always that player at the table where when they're in an all-in scenario, you're like, God, don't give that guy chips. Like, that's the one guy who knows how to use them right. Like, don't give that guy the chips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hate it when Otto has chips.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Because you're like, he is going to put pressure on you every time. He's not afraid of triple air barrel all the way down. He's going to make you work for it.
There is a good strategy of poker, like being able to find like that weak spot and then just exploit them until they're gone, if possible. Like, you ever feel like there's the one guy that you always just happen to like go up against him heads up? every tournament, every cash game. There's always the one guy.
Yeah.
And somehow he's got your number every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really frustrating. But it's great to be able to be that person too. You learn how to be that person to be a successful player.
So Rudy with the all-in finally woke up with a hand, and he did. He waited. He pulled those threes earlier. He does chip it with ace-10, and he gets called by anything basically.
Yeah.
So 6-3 here from Sean, and 7-queen-4 on the flop. Bit of a little straight draw here for 6-3. Now a diamond draw for 6-3, and Brick City ace-high wins it, and Rudy survives.
Gotta
He
get lucky.
goes on. And this is what we're talking about with Rudy, man. I mean, I don't want to use the Rounders quote, alligator blood, but sometimes that's what you get.
Yep. If you look at it, he was in such a better position with the threes.
Yeah.
But obviously, it could be results oriented. Don't know exactly what's going to happen.
I agree with you, Sonny. 86-44. It's always a sweat, man. It's never easy. Like, it's never just like, boom, drawing dead on the flop. So rarely is it ever like drawing dead on the flop. And if he's got like runner potential, the first runner always hits the turn. And so now there actually is a sweat like every time, man. It's brutal.
Makes it fun.
The Jared Gray who earlier told him, why are you going to fold those threes? Says, hell, what do I? Way to go, Rudy. I love it. And that's the thing, man. I mean, you get in these scenarios, you get these players who go deep, and when you see consistently these players that go super deep, you're like, how? Apparently that's how, dude. Go to Rudy's book comes out next week, man. Make sure you buy it on Amazon.
Right. What would the title of that book be?
Oh God.
How to play 5 hands in a day-long tournament and
how to go
make it to the final table?
How to go super deep with short-handed, with short stacks.
Super deep short stacks.
Super deep short stacks.
There you go.
And Rudy did Rudy oh no, it said all in the call. I thought Rudy shipped it again. So we got a raise by Fox here with the mystery hand up to 43K. Oh, there we go, ace king. Over to Mark, who's gonna let it go. Winner, winner.
Wow, they could have got lucky. I thought it was a possibility.
Taking a look at these stacks here. Jack on the big stack with 800K, followed by Wilton with 700K. Down to, I think, did it say 17K was the short stack? Did that just eat up, was that Rudy? Did that just, the blinds ate him up a little bit? Yeah, the blind, small and big, yeah.
Yep. At that point, you got to just almost any 2 cards, man.
It's the antes that'll start eating you, man. I mean, 2K antes, right? I mean, every round is crushing you 16K.
You just can't wait. You just got to hope you get lucky.
So Jack here in first position under the gun. Queen Jack suited.
What do you like to do in that situation? It's a pretty hand.
For me, I fold.
I fold too.
I insta fold. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to even. It's
Get it out of my
I'm gone.
sight.
I'm
Get it
gone.
going. I don't want to before I make a bad decision.
Absolutely gone.
For sure.
But what do I know? That's why I'm not the chip leader at the table. Now, granted, it is a little bit different if you're also short stacked versus big stacked as well. When you have such a big stack as Jack, it's okay to maybe pop in a raise and take a chance. Although in this case, he's going to run into kings. Yeah.
That's what you do. You open early and you run into king.
Of course. Now we haven't seen Casino actually play a hand yet, so this could set off some alarm bells for Jack. And come to think of it, we really haven't seen Jack involved in a lot of hands other than his pocket fives hand where he 4-card flushed out. Bianca Clover in the house. What's going on? $135. So it's another 90K over Jack's raise here.
How can we tell how many people are in the chat?
You can't. You just see how many people are watching. So, whoever has accounts.
Watching. That's that number right there.
Yeah, same number, yeah.
Huh.
And Jack is going to let it go. Now, Jack right there, you saw him contemplating. I don't actually think he was Hollywooding. I think Jack was close to becoming a victim of his own stack size, which you've seen before, right? Because almost every other player is going to muck that and say, okay, my queen jack's clearly beat. When you have a lot of chips, sometimes you might be more likely to, okay, well, I can afford it. Let me see if I can snap off a player. Let me see if I can get lucky, yada, yada, yada. But you know that there's no way that guy is 3-betting you with less than queen jack suited.
Get nailed by.
I did. I got 9th place in almost their biggest tournament here. That's true. It was like almost 600 players. I was like, sweet, I'm gonna be on the stream. Like I don't know.
I'm glad that we've made amends since I knocked you out of that tournament, because that's like all you remember me from. For
it was solid. It was solid. Just got this stupid guy, and I knew I had him, and he turns his 2-outer, and then I ship it, and he just snap calls, and he flips it over, and I'm like, God, you're the worst. And I just cried.
You know what? I love doing that to people.
Thank you. I'm glad I could bring you joy. That's good. That makes me happy.
I'm a terrible human being. I love that feeling so much. Just crushing people like when you shouldn't have won.
You shouldn't have won. You're like, I should be good 98% of the time here, and somehow I'm not.
It comes back around.
All right, Mark with ace king. Now it's great because everybody folds to the button, and the button generally, especially a good player like Mark, is gonna itch, and he's gonna start raising this and establishing a little pressure here. But the fact that he actually has ace king is such a great spot to be in, because more experienced players will actually push back on the button thinking they're full of it, and they're gonna have a bad day if they do that against Mark right here. And knowing Jack's, and this is great because Jack's stack size here, if Jack wants to get involved and just say all in, this could be huge for Mark. Drake RX says, I thought seat 1 was Harlan. Occasionally, we do like to let other players sit in that seat. Occasionally. Okay, so Jack is going to make the call here. Oh, this could be some fireworks, guys. So nice. Jack does flop a pair with a straight draw, and Mark flops top. I'm thinking this is check, all in, snap call.
Probably. Yep. Oh, no snap call.
Maybe that's just because I play loose.
I think he calls. There's so many hands that a good player would use to make that same move that you have equity against. Like or you're even better than at the time. There's no pair hands that do that.
Yeah, I think if a player completely whiffs that flop, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A player with any pocket pair, and you check it to them, and they have that stack, they need this pot.
Yeah.
I mean that's, and in a sick way, that makes their hand almost polarizing because you have no. I mean, it could be ace king or it could be pocket eights.
Yep.
I mean, or it can be nothing. It could be ace rag. I mean, it's so sick. Yeah, it is more than 42K. We're gonna get a look here. The camera pans over, but the yellows. Oh, that's it. It looks like he does make the call. Now the yellows are 10K chips. The pinks are 5K, and the blacks are 1K chips.
He figures he's got the clubs most likely too. Probably didn't account that it's dominated in that.
So we're gonna have showdown. So 10 Jack here is going to need a 10 Jack or a Queen to knock out Ace King. 7 outs remaining.
There it
Bink!
is.
There it is. And Jack is going to knock out Mark. Mark, a valiant effort, buddy, there. Well played. Shoved with the best of it. Got unlucky. Mark's going to take home just over $1,000 for 8th place. Hell of a game, Mark.
Nice run.
And Mark's just sitting there in shock, man. We've been there. Mark's like, dude, I've made all the right moves. I got him to call when he was behind. Damn it. Like, that's all I can say. Damn it.
Yeah. Tournament poker is a little bit more of a gamble. Winning consistently, you're just at the mercy of the deck, you know, eventually.
Yeah. And and you really can't even say any. I mean, Mark played it well. Mark played all the hands he was in relatively well. And the sick part about it is you're just a victim to the big stack like Jack, where he has. If Jack and him were even stacked, Jack is gone all day insta-fold. His fold button could not get clicked fast enough. However, because he's so huge stacked, that's the problem. Is like you can't bet into a stack like that, and he's going to call every time. If he has any piece of it or any draw or any chance to snap a player, he's going to be in there. I mean, you can't fault either player there. It just is what it is, you know. And that brings us down to the remaining 7 here.
Is Rudy still? You know what I mean?
And Rudy's still in it, and Rudy ladders up, guys. That's what we're talking about. The short stack now just, increased his equity here in a couple $100. Got a couple $100 extra.
Doing it.
It's a nice steak dinner.
It's not an exciting way to do it, but you're doing it.
You are. But let's face it, there comes a point to where you can almost be at such a chip deficit, such a chip advantage, where are you really going to, I mean, it's possible, but the just pure percentage-wise, the chances of you coming back and outstacking all of these guys is, so you might just, let me ladder up. Let me get an extra 600 out of this. I'm okay with that all day, you know?
45. They have a special here. It's like $3 or $4.
So Wilton here is going to pop it up to 45K. Now over to Andre, who's the king of pocket pairs. We saw him earlier do a solid re-raise with 8s, and now he's got 7s on the button.
Yeah, it's not too many.
What do we deduce from this raise by Wilton here?
This is +1. I don't really know what to deduce here.
I'm thinking that it's you don't want to let too much time go by without taking in a pot.
Oh yeah, well yeah, okay. So he's just looking to scoop one up.
And if you haven't played in a while and you open up from early position, people are just going to assume that you have a good hand, and you might get a fold round. He's got a decent stack.
Yeah. I agree with you, Phil Rhodes Jr. You can't be too proud to just hit a pay jump or two. I will take a pay jump any day of the week.
This is true.
And I've been in the flip side of that where, I made a big move and I gave somebody else the pay jump when I got involved in a pot I shouldn't have even got involved in. And I was kicking myself all the way to the parking lot. I'm like, God, that was rough. I should have just folded,
See, Wilton's going to fire at this, and it matches the range that he should have in
Yeah.
the position. Sometimes it's not about the cards like that.
Yeah, if you have any sort of 10 jack, queen jack, king jack, jack 9, jack 10, I mean anything in that range, you should be all over this board. At least a small piece of it. Let's see if Andre buys it. Let's see if Andre buys what Wilton's selling here. Proper 3-bet in the house. Long time no see, my friend. Welcome to the stream.
I think unless you have like a really solid read on your opponent in that situation, it's just a fold every time. Like what are you trying to beat there?
Yeah, I mean the huevos you'd have to like come back over the top with 7s, just like I'll 3-bet you, 4-bet you.
You can call him and float him and see what he does. Your position gives you a certain advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I would be okay with like a float there, but to click back and just be like, I'm a beast here.
There's no reason to do
Yeah.
that.
And I mean, Wilton did raise from, a relatively early position. You got to give him credit for something there. You know what I mean? That was kind of an unorthodox move he made. Like, even if I didn't see his cards, if I'm just at the table, I'd give him credit for anything in that range all day.
Yep.
Rudy over here with 3s. They love giving Rudy 3s on the short.
Dude,
I love it. And Rudy saw 3s before and he let him go.
you have like one big.
And you know what? Almost okay. So Rudy actually, the way he looked at him, he looked at one, he looked at the other, kind of flicked him back and forth. It's almost not an insta shove. I feel like when players are stronger, especially in short stacks, they look and they're just like, boom, done. Just instant. So I feel if you do this and then you posture for a second, I feel that people are even more apt to call you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it wasn't just an instant, like slingshot arm, go gadget chip bet. You know?
Yeah. Everybody agrees. It's like, all right, come on. Like the first time, maybe like, come on.
Look, guys, I can guarantee you for the remainder of this tournament, Rudy is folding threes every time. Period. So don't get upset if Rudy gets threes again because they're folded. Insta fold. Proper 3-bet. Moved out of Tucson. Living in Vegas now. Right on, buddy. Hope you smack out some WSOP love one way or another. Go and think off some single table sit and goes. Who do I want to prop on that, huh? Ghost of M with the go-go gadget left. All right, so Kasim here with ace-7. Jack 9 of clubs for Jack here. Flops a flush draw. Neither player with the queen, but kind of a split equity pot here. Jack checks over. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kasim checks over to Jack. And this is great. This is a good bet by Jack.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Kasim scared me. He's doing like the double dip, like he's just going to instant jam chips on him. I'm like, what's going on here? And that's a good bet by Jack because it's a bit of a semi-bluff, right? Because if another club peels off, it's great. If not, he can just pick up the pot right there, and it worked perfect. So.
Yep. I always like those ones.
And taking a look here, we got Rudy on the short stack still with about 38K, followed up right above him by the stack of 106K, which I believe is Sean B.
And here in 12 minutes, I mean, blinds are going to kind of start getting serious now.
Oh, yeah.
So people can't really be waiting around too much longer here in a little while. And
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start making some moves, even people with significant stacks, because it's just going to start eating away. Short-handed, big blinds, not a good match.
JFK Stones chiming in. Game's over. Rudy won. You guys can all. We're all done here. Rudy came back and smacked everybody. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, the black chips are 1K chips, the pink chips are 5K chips, and the yellow chips are 10K chips. Jack just has stacks of pink right there. Towers and towers, dude.
It's been a minute, but when did we get the branded cards?
The branded cards, actually, I think we have a
It's
couple of them up here. Yeah,
since I've been
newish. Yeah, newish within the past month, maybe the past 3 weeks.
Like 3
Check them
weeks.
out. Check them out. You can almost see the RFID chip through them if I look real hard, maybe not. But yeah, these are the nice Stones Alive cards here on the table. It's like too liney for the camera to even pick that up. These are real sweet cards, real great quality, and they work really well with our reader.
Nice.
Oh man, a special surprise for me after the break. Plaque Life, he knows I love plaques. I love me some plaques. My dentist hates that I love plaque, but other than that, it's good stuff.
They're
so
cool.
Andre
Like
here.
James Bond.
Oh yeah, super straight out of Casino Royale, Euro betting.
Yeah.
So Andre here, no surprise, king of the pairs with deuces from the hijack, pops it up to 63K. Now Wilton with a bit of decision, ace rag suited. Wow, sick needle, JFK. I'm gonna have to just bink off one of these fat tournaments. I don't have to hear about this 9-plate crap again, man. Loud noises, I'm angry. Almost 600 players. I still get shit to this day for coming in 9th. I'm the worst.
I mean, I haven't been here for him being in a final table.
It's true.
When's the last time you saw it?
Oh, JFK?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't do final tables. He's nice. He's a tournament director, so he's nice enough to bust out before everybody else.
Yeah.
He normally likes to bubble or bust out right before the money, so he
Sure,
gives the
it's all
cash
about
back to the
compassion.
players. He's a nice guy. So 10-10-3 on the flop. Checks around. Ooh, disco for Wilton here. Picks up the ace on the turn. Now look at Wilton. Look at the Wilton body language. Man, he's really, that leg tap's like going full body now. He's really getting into it. Somebody get that man a fidget spinner.
I saw more than one fidget spinner today when there was still like 3 or 4 tables.
Oh, at the poker room? I saw a lot out at the WSOP. I bought one at a gas station for $3 because I wanted to see what the hell they were about. So Wilton now makes 3 pair. Now look at this. That was such a snap bet by Wilton. Like his arm was just spring loaded. Now, if you're Andre, what does this mean? Does this mean that he checked hoping you'd bet the turn? Or is this just like I'm trying to buy a bet? So I think that was obviously intentional by Wilton, and Andre's not buying it. He's getting out of here. JFK Stones, that time I got 9th place, I might have actually had more than one. I might have had 2 plaques. I could go back and rewatch it. It's not that I don't have it saved and I replay it every morning and cry and sleep with my tears and my pillow over to that scene or anything. But yeah, that's fine. No, just one. There's video of it. All right, I believe you. I won't go watch it again. It's already painful enough.
It's not gonna let you live it down.
Never. As he should not. The worst is that Veronica was in here doing commentary with him, so you know she's just sitting there needling the absolute hell out of me. I mean, I could have been chip leader running over that tournament and got like first place in 10 minutes, just knocking everybody out. She still would have given me immense amounts of crap.
She's a crap giver.
That's what she does. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to her. Jack over here, ace 7 of clubs seems to be the popular one. Jack from the hijack. Hi, Jack. Solid raise here. Looks about 40K. 50K.
Mountain of chips right there.
Now, you know what's tough, too? When you have a big stack player like that to your left, let's say immediately to your left, and he's in the blinds and you're on the button, where normally you maybe, you know, make a move with any sort of ace and try to take the blinds, it makes it so impossible to do that. You know what I mean? When a huge stack player is directly to your left, it really makes it tough because their calling range just instantly opens up so much when they have that many chips versus your stack. Because, I mean, their implied value is they can snap a player for a tenth of their stack. What do they care?
Yeah.
You know? So guys, if you're just tuning in, we are down to the final 7. We started with 157. We have lost 150 players down the drain. We are playing for almost 11K up top. These guys have been playing for going on about 12 hours now, and these guys are in it to win it. And Fox from the hijack here with 10 jack. He is going to call. And look at this. Maybe his spider sense picked up something, because now from the cutoff we got Kasim with ace 10 suited, who's definitely going to do a lot more than call. 56,000. Solid raise. Healthy raise. I think his raise size probably increased a little bit because he had Fox calling behind him. And now over to Sean. Sean B, who's just been in a tough spot. He hasn't been able to pick up anything, and he is... And I mean, here you go. Back over to Rudy. Oh,
Yeah.
all day. All day.
Okay, he did.
No, he can't.
Okay,
He
I was
can't.
like,
He's got to. I mean, with his blinds, with his stack and that blind, I mean, you're in there all day. All day.
It's the best hand.
Yeah, we're all in.
That's Junior. You're the best.
And you know, maybe like you said, it works out. Then now that when he does go in, and he's in this spot where he could, you know, get a little bit more value out of it.
And this
They're gonna
might
give him a lot of credit for really good.
and this might even be great because this is perfect because now he gets Fox full. He basically more than triples up, and he only has to go heads up against one player.
Yeah. And against the way that Rudy's been playing, Ace 10 doesn't even look that great against it. You gotta call it.
So damn near coin flip, guys. Rudy the short stack looking to double up. Oh, 7 right in the window. Wow, but an ace. But an ace. Another diamond peels. Oh wow, one more diamond could be a chop. And Brick City, 7 souls. Nothing like a solid sweat. You're like, dude, come on, are you really gonna diamond board me? I mean,
That would
I've been
suck.
playing so beastie, and now you're gonna like even like think about chopping on an all diamond board.
Yeah.
What a beast, Rudy. That's a huge pot for Rudy. Much needed. Long awaited. Everybody who laughed when he folded pocket threes twice. Boom shakalaka. Rudy's in the house. Bring it on down.
What do I know?
I hope Rudy comes back. Yeah, look, now he's going to have the world of followers. Rudy's going to come back and win this. He's going to bink off this whole damn thing. And everybody's just going to be like, I want to go to the school of Rudy all day. Rudy. I mean, it's so cliche, but we're going for it. We got to do it. I don't know if Rudy, I mean, I wouldn't call that luck, man. Rudy's been patient as heck, and he actually had him hold and went in with the best hand, and it held. And But yeah, I mean, regardless, guys, you gotta win. You gotta win coin flips. You just hope for the few times you don't win the coin flip, you're on the big side of chips.
Stakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
34,000.
Excuse me. Over to Sean. God, Sean's been so patient.
Sean knows what to do with threes.
See, Sean's gonna ship threes, and I mean, dude, what else are you gonna do? Try to sneeze away from this mic next time. I'm blowing out people's speakers. And it's not much more for Kasim to call, and he's definitely going to make the call with his stack. So again, we have another race, and I mean, look at these numbers. Exactly 50-50. The stone cold coin flip. So Sean is hoping for a lot of deuces. Boom, 4, 5, 8. A little bit of a whiff. So far, so good for Sean. Another one, that's kind of a scary card. Oh, God, that's why it's scary, guys. Now, the board is going to double pair and counterfeit Sean's pair, meaning ace high is going to take this pot. That is a rough way to go out, but valiant effort by Sean here, who is going to finish out in 7th place and take home $1,256. Well done, Sean. It's tough to go out like that. I mean, you play a tournament like this for 12 hours, and you go out by the board getting double paired, you're like,
I've seen sicker.
No, I know. It wasn't the
I-
worst, but it just sucks when your hand like doesn't even play. You're like, I play the board, like,
Yeah,
816.
that's true. Good game, Sean.
Good game, buddy. Oh, of course. Look at this. I love our chat. Says Rudy knew if he only would have folded threes. Oh my God. You know what? It's funny because Sean's probably going to go back and maybe watch the stream and check out how it played up to this point. And when he sees Rudy fold threes twice, he's going to be like, Rudy should have just leaned over and been like, bro, if you ever get threes, just fold. Click the fold button. It's so easy. And then there were 6. The Stones Sunday tournaments.
Six is when it gets fun.
Yeah, now you're essentially, you guys, you hear about the 6 max tournaments.
I love
Now
it.
you're just having a good old 6 max tournament, right? Because in the 6 max tournament, it's so much different than 9. You can't sit back and just wait for Monster Cookie. You can't fold threes all day, right? I mean,
Nope.
you really got to get in there. You got to be playing some pots. You got to be raking. Every pot matters here. All pots matter, guys. Biggity bam. All right, looks like these players are going on break. All right, so far, so good, man. We've been going for, about an hour or so. We've lost 3 players. We know that pocket threes are no good. Rudy knows they're no good.
I still disagree with that.
No, they're no good.
It's-
We just saw. Look, even when you get them, they don't even play on this board. They're no good at all.
No, I wish they would have held up so we could, do what I think is right.
Yeah, okay, no. But
We'd
you're
be
it's not a
cheering
lot.
on my opinion.
Not a lot of
Got
dudes
a tourney
right.
card?
Absolutely not. So, guys, while we take a minute there, they're going to get out some fun plaques because we all know enough plaques. If you guys are anywhere local, make sure you come out for Industry Night here on Wednesday, June 28th, coming up. That's this Wednesday, yeah?
That would be this Wednesday.
I think so. Happy hour drink specials, bottle service, live DJ, all the fun. It is the nerd style, your best nerd outfit. So some of you won't even need to dress up. He's already ready to go. That's
Already
good.
go.
All we need is one piece of tape in the middle of the glasses, and we're good to rock there. So that's super solid. Another thing coming up is the 40K player appreciation. So this is pretty cool. If there's 3 different tiers, actually. You qualify by playing in live games, winning any of these tournaments. Like most of these guys here, they're like, psh, easy money.
Yep.
Actually, any of these tournaments, the player field of 50 players or less. 50 players or more. Yeah, so you're good to go. And then,
Basically all of them.
yeah, any of them, right? Yeah. And then you get 1 tournament voucher for each of those. And tier 1, you can actually buy in any of the tiers if you want. So each tier is $150 value essentially. So you just buy in even if you don't.
It's a cool structure.
Yeah, so you can buy in for the $450 and get $40K guaranteed right off the bat.
Yep.
You know, and you know it's going to go over that too.
Yep.
So that's rad. It's always cool. But the big one, the big dog, the $1 million Hold'em event.
I'm still saying you should drop off a mill, get ScarJo.
Do it, just do it. Hit ScarJo all day. So guys, if you don't know about this, we actually just had our first drawing here recently on June 17th. Essentially what this is you come in, you play Limit Hold'em, you bink out some hours, and then you're gonna get tickets. And these tickets are gonna go into drawing pools, and we're gonna do a drawing each month. We just did one in June, there's gonna be one in July, there's gonna be another one in August coming up. And then basically each of those times we're going to give away, looks like about $900 in cash prizes and 1 seat to a single table, I'm sorry, 3 seats each drawing to a single table 9-handed sit and go, right? Then the top 4 players from that, top 4, right? Top four players from that are all going to go get to draw envelopes out of a pinochle deck too, which is really cool because I thought it was going to be the whole deck.
Nope.
So it's just out of a pinochle deck, and all of these hands, guys, all the way up to a royal flush for $1 million. Right? 4 of a kind's 25K, full house is 10K, straights are 5K. Any other hand is 3K. That's ridiculous.
It's like 1 in 38,000 to win 4 times though.
Yeah.
Not just once.
You draw ace high at $3 grand.
Each of the last 4 people have an equal opportunity to make that royal flush.
Yeah, that's the sickest part.
That's what's crazy.
And so even if you get to this promotion,
it's not like
right?
they're all choosing from the same pool of like random hands. Like they all have an equal opportunity to win.
So, and even in this thing, so top 4 get it. 5th through 7th still get $2 grand. Even 8th and 9th place, even if you just make it to the tournament, you get your name draw. It's $1,000.
Yeah.
You just sit down, you bust out whatever, you still get $1,000.
Hopefully, with all those hours, you made some money along the way.
Yeah. You know what I love? I love free money.
Yeah.
Free money. The Jared Gray chimes in. We now have empirical data that shows 3-3 is a fold pre-flop. You would disagree though.
Gotta disagree.
Gotta disagree with you on that. Got to disagree. Absolutely. So we still have some of you guys up. I love that you guys are up 11 p.m. here on a Sunday night, hanging out, watching some poker with us. While these guys do their chip ups and take a little breather, where are you guys watching from? Where are you guys tuning in from? It's always interesting to know because we got a lot of local guys, but then we always have random people who are like, oh, I'm in Malaysia,
Right.
Oh, it's the morning over here in Australia. I'm eating some breakfast. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Very, very, very cool. So we did some, we had a little shopping excursion. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Had some antics.
Absolutely. Here we go. I Want a Storm chiming in from Green Bay. Very,
Bay's
very
cool.
cool. Jack is my father. Skilligat in the house. Well, Jack is crushing it right now, and your dad might be 11K richer after this evening.
It's a good dad to have.
Vocal Terror is chiming in from playing Friday the 13th. I will admit, I've been playing a lot of that game lately. It is fun. You end up, it's basically like 9 people in a game, 8 people in a game.
Okay.
And one guy is Jason Voorhees, and the other 7 people are camp counselors running for their lives. And it's a lot of fun. It's absolutely a lot of fun. Very cool. Oh, you hear that? I hear JFK talking about more plaques. It's always a good time when you got more plaques. So guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you download the Stones Gambling Hall app on your phone. It not only lets you take a live seat game and just buy in straight off the bat. Not buy in, I'm sorry, but put your name on the list. If you can buy it, just put my chips down, blind me out, it'd be awesome. But yeah, if you guys haven't done it, it's really cool. Download the Stones Gambling Hall app and you can reserve a seat remotely right from your phone. Don't even have to talk to a live person. It's 2017, guys. It is here. The world is real. Let's see, I'm trying to pull up the app on my phone here. Let's see.
You don't have your stuff categorized?
No, I know. I'm lame right now. Don't call me out on that. It's true. It's true. I need to do some organization. I got a new phone. I feel like I want to use the excuse, new phone, who dis? But it is nice. It's got the whole menu, but more importantly, it's got the entire tournament calendar on there, which is really, really sweet. Oh, it literally didn't. Wow. I'm downloading it right now. It literally did not transfer over to my new phone. Haha. Look, Justin's like, you're fired. You're totally fired. So there it is, guys. There's the Stones Gambling Hall app. Pops right up on your phone. You can check all of your player points. You can see everything that's going on, the calendar events, the tournament events, everything. You can see all the games that are going there. You can see the entire dining menu, the whole 9 yards. It's actually pretty sweet. I'm just waiting until we can order food remotely on here because I'll just order from home.
You need to put that into the programmers ASAP.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it all day.
You can show up and have those sliders or those tacos ready for you when you sit down. Goodness.
Taking a look around right now. Actually, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cash games running outside of the tournament, and I love it because it's randomly, approaching midnight on a Sunday, and there's still 6 cash games running. So while we're talking about that, let's take a second to talk about cash games here at Stones.
Yeah.
You're like me. You've played a lot of poker in your day, right?
Yep.
You've been around to a lot of different rooms. How do Stone's cash games compare to other games, like limit wise? How do they play? Buy-in wise, player pool wise? How do you feel?
There's always enough players here that no matter what time of day you come, there's a game. And then people always have money here. It's crazy. And then there's always action. They're always willing to put it in the middle.
Yeah,
it's the ideal situation if you like to play poker.
I do
It really
feel
is.
I do feel like I see a lot more.
Gotta come to play too, though.
A lot more people here doing the good old gamble moves, like, okay, whatever. You want to gamble? Okay, I'll go to a peaky with you. I'll do a $50 bomb pot with you. I'll do, whatever, right?
A little bit of that.
Which is cool. Which is cool. But you also get guys who aren't afraid to put it in the middle. And I will tell you this, and we've said this before on the stream. You guys have heard this, that at the end of the day, dude, these games are. I'm spoiled by them, right? Because the 1-3 plays like the 2-5 and vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like. I'm so used to playing these games that when I go to other stuff, like I'm traveling, and I'm like, okay, where's the nearest casino? I'll go, I'll sit down, I'll play some cards for a while.
Not as fun, is it?
Dude, now they have these 1-3 games that are like handicapped with like a $200 max cap buy-in, and I'm just like, and everybody at the table has like $250, $300 in front of them, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to play this. I feel like I'm just sitting here paying the rake. I'm not even like playing to win pots. You know what I mean?
I agree. There's got to be something to play for. I mean, almost, what's sad is almost every other casino that you go to has some kind of limit, like, unless you're playing, 5-10 or more. Like, even the 2-5s, like, sometimes have caps on, like, $500.
Oh, I know, which is the worst, dude. It's the worst, especially because what's going to happen is when you don't have these games, when you have these games that don't allow table max, you're always going to have these players who are on the end of a bender session, which is kind of some of the players that you want to catch.
Yeah.
You want to catch these guys who already can't even see straight because they've been playing for 12, 15 hours, right? But you can't do anything about it if you buy these guys. You can only buy them for $500, and these guys have $6K in front of them.
Right.
And you're throwing pebbles. You're throwing pebbles at mountains, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just rough. Ghost of M says, "Hey, Fat Train, is there an online store for us to buy one of those sweet Stones hats?" There's not. This was actually commissioned by one of our dealers here, Paul. Now, I can't get too out in front of ourselves here, but there is some talks, some deals in the works to get these hats made and put into an online store, which I believe is looking very positive, and I think it's going to happen sooner than later. So you're regular on the show. You definitely will not miss it.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's all the way going to happen soon. Now look at this. 5 seconds left in the break. Nobody's at the table. We got one player left. Fox is ready to play. Everybody else is like, all right, whatever. I'll sit down. Sit down. You heard me. Deals, JFK Stones. I won't out you, throw you under the bus. Let's get down to the action. Let's see what's going on here. So, type 1 in the chat if you're rooting for Rudy, dude. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a 1 right there. I'm doing it.
What other options do I have?
It's 1 or 0. 0, not Rudy. 1 is Rudy.
I got you with a 1.
Yeah. What can I say, man? I mean, the guy knows threes are no good, and he goes with it. All right, and then you hate that. Come on, JFK Stones.
JFK,
you're the worst.
Always the devil's advocate.
You're the worst. Look at that. Even that hand's better than threes. He got 2 overs. He's ready to party. All right, I'm gonna go grab some fresh waters. Be back. All right, be nice to this guy. All right,
I'll try to hold it down.
All right.
Rudy's gonna bust out while you're gone.
No, it's never gonna happen. Shut your mouth.
Look, guys, I have the booth to myself. What should we do? I feel it's like when the teacher's gone, right? When the teacher leaves the room and all the kids go nuts. I feel like that's what I want to do right now. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Justin definitely would be the teacher. I don't really know what my limitations are, so like I'm not gonna go even kind of crazy with the being crazy while the teacher's gone. So my sweet moves. I don't think there's enough room to moonwalk in this booth, so I can't give you my sweet moves. Do the whole like Michael Jackson knee slap or something like that and break a computer. I'm looking around and see if anybody's gonna disapprove, and maybe I'll give that to you. These guys are trying to get me to like bust out Michael Jackson moves and like go crazy while I have the booth to myself.
That's such a typical chat move, dude. They always do that. They're like, hey, why don't you just start singing, Boys to Men and In Sync? You're like, whoa, this escalated so quickly. So wow,
Next
look
thing
at
you know, you're gonna try to get me to
Ace 8 has a
do
few
things I'll regret.
Oh yeah, no. I regret nothing. So look at this. Ace 8 has a few outs against Ace Queen here. The Humpty dance. Oh, this guy knows what's up. My nose is big like a pickle. I'm still getting paid. What's got busy in the Stones bathroom? I'm kidding. That's just a joke. It's a line in a song. This isn't about me. But maybe that Evangeline's bathroom, though.
Oh, yeah, all right. Didn't even get to see the bathroom there. Should have.
Speaking of which, maybe you have a wardrobe change the next break coming up here. Maybe. We'll see.
Es posible.
Maybe if the chat's nice.
We're going 40 and then break. 40 and then break.
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. No. Next break is at 3 a.m. So get ready. I'm kidding, guys. I don't know when the next break is. Honestly. Everyone banged out in a Denny's bathroom.
I don't know about everyone.
No, what do you have up there, Canadian Shooter? What's it? Hortons? Is it a Hortons bathroom or whatever? Whatever the hell that
They
weird.
don't let me in Canada anymore.
Ah, there we are. I went up there for French fries and gravy and it got weird. It's called poutine. He's gonna correct me on it. Watch. I'm just out there chanting, Rudy, Rudy. Should have ran on camera over there while I was out there. You could see me in a good 25 minutes. Oh, Phil Rose Jr. says, Stone's bathrooms are way nicer than most casino bathrooms. WSOP restrooms are like, welcome to the Thunderdome. Are you ready? 1 urinal, 1,000 players. Who will survive?
I don't put myself in those situations anymore.
Guys, if you go to the WSOP once, you learn how bathroom breaks work, okay? At the end of the day, if you see there's a break coming up in 15 minutes, that means your break is now. You get your ass up and you go. You beat that bathroom rush. Although I will tell you, they've gotten significantly better. This last year, they had all of these portables outside that were like on trailers that were literally had signs that said posh bathrooms or whatever, and you walk in and they're like nice, like full-on trailers, not like outhouses, full-on trailers with like normal bathrooms built inside of them. And I was impressed with like sinks and everything. I was like, wow, okay, fair
Good
enough.
concept.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Yeah, JFK Stone says, good to be a girl at the WSOP on bathroom breaks. No joke. It's the exact opposite of a typical nightclub, right?
Yeah.
Nightclub, there's a line around the block. for girls, and guys just laugh all the way to the bathroom. All right, so we got our 2 small stacks. Check it out, Fox and Rudy here with 189 and 93K. Everybody else well above 500, and our big dog over 1 million in chips right now. Those bathrooms are back, and they are outside. It is very hot. I want to say that they have AC. I want to say it felt relatively cool in those bathrooms. But then again, I don't know. I wasn't actually out there when it was. I was out there earlier this month before it got ridiculously hot. Oh my God, I love it. So basically on Stones Live, it just started about to be an hour-long talk about bathrooms at the WSOP. Welcome to Stones Live, ladies and gentlemen. Click that heart if you like bathroom talk. Hashtag potty talk for the win. JFK Stone says they have to have AC. Yeah, right. They actually purposely don't have AC, so there's never a line for them because you're going to be in and out in like 22 seconds because you're dying.
Keeps the maintenance costs probably pretty low. Not too much craziness going on.
Potty Talk with Justin and Darren. Coming up next on Potty Talk. All right, so Jack here from the Hijack. It feels weird. Every time he raises, it's Jack from the Hijack. It just feels weird saying, but he's going to pop it up here with 7s to 65K, and it's going to get through. Now, I'll tell you what, not only is it good to pop it up and raise and be more aggressive if you are a big stack, but if you're raising into a player like Rudy, who you know plays super snug, I mean, it's like, it's money in the bank all day. It's money in the bank all day. And if Rudy does click back and jam it on you one dime, even if you're like pot committed to call, you don't like it.
Right.
It's Rudy, right? You don't like it. Now, if you will notice, Jack's stack looks like it did dwindle a bit, but it didn't. We actually chipped up to my favorite thing, drum roll please, plaques. So those plaques, you'll see the tiles straight out of James Bond Casino Royale that we got our guy in C5 there playing with right now, are 25K plaques. They sound good, they look good, and damn it, if you got a lot of them, it feels good.
Just splash the pot if you got a stack of plaques.
Oh, it's so good. If somebody goes all in, you just like, I call and you just chunk out plaques. Boom, 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 boom.
Baller.
Oh, it's so good.
I feel like we need to do a skit called Potty Talk. Be pretty funny.
Coming up during the next break, let's talk potty.
So dope.
Hot toddy potty. And Andre pops it with King Queen, gets through. Thank you, Ghost of M. Types it in there. Tournament chips. Plaques are 25K. Yellows are 10K. Lavenders, or pink/purples as we like to call them, are 5Ks. Blacks are 1K. Reds are 500s, but you won't see any of those there because this is the final table. Did you guys ever call that movie phone number back in the day?
Loved movie phone.
Hello, and thank you for calling Movie Phone. Brought to you by the Second. And that guy is just like burned into my head. Or that old popcorn number that gave you the time. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Vocal Terror can hear now. Good man. You're so funny in the chat. Vocal Terror is none other than Taylor, our resident dealer. Not to be confused with Taylor Swift. Very different, although they both sound similar. Wilton from the cutoff pops it up. Rudy gets out of the way, and Andre is going to run for the hills as well. And over to Jack, who's got a whole lot of nada.
This is where it really comes down to like that virtue of patience, of just really being able to outlast your opponents when it gets down to this many people. And yeah, you know, you're seeing a lot more hands, but getting a hand isn't that common.
I know.
So you really got to push through it. Hope these other guys make a mistake.
I feel like a lot of times I have the worst luck. I feel every time that it is either my my button or right before it, and I either don't get the opportunity to raise because there's either like a raise and a 3-bet in front of me, or even if it gets to me and I do raise, one of the blinds always clicks back on me, and I'm just like, I feel like I just have this giant sign on my head that's just like, I don't have anything. Look at me, and I'm like, God, it's the
Maybe you should
worst.
work on that.
No, just give me credit one time, just once, one time.
Have you looked in the mirror? Do you even give yourself credit?
I don't at all.
Me neither. It's okay.
I know. Back to that hand we played. All right, Rudy shipping it. King, queen, way the best. Timo, 3004, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Rudy's a beast. No matter what you have, you're never going to beat Rudy. Rudy. Oh, Fox, that's no good, buddy. That's no good. Ship it all day to Rudy. You know what? I could look over right now and get a spoiler alert going on, but I don't even want to look because I know Rudy's still sitting there because you know Rudy's going to crush this all day. You can't kill Rudy, dude.
Should be interesting.
So Rudy here is behind, but he does have 2 live ones.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that is rough. Top 2 here for Fox.
10 on the turn.
Rudy's really going to need a 10 here. Oh, that's going to be the end of it.
That's
God,
it.
I do love a good comeback story, but that's not going to be it for Rudy. Rudy the man here, he is going to finish this tournament in 6th place. We'll see the prize scrolling across here in a minute. Rudy, well played, buddy. Now, Rudy laddered up 2 or 3 players easily by folding a couple of those hands early on. And it looks like it's going to pay off for him now. 1661 is what Rudy's taking home. I'd say he made at least an extra 400 to 600 just by a couple folding. Just by folding. Because look, I mean, right there it was 1256. You know, he laddered above that and he laddered above 1,000.
Since there was 35 players.
Yeah. Well played, Rudy.
Yeah. Well
Rudy
done.
is going to take home $1,600, 6th place. Right on, bud. I just love everybody in the chat who knocked him for folding 3s. You're the man. You're the man. You're my boy, Blue.
Fair weather fans.
And then there were 5. 157, 152 down.
Rudy was short stack before it was cool.
Yes. Taylor with the troll. Get in there, bud. The shocker, Jack 6 suited. Letting it go. Over to Jack from the button. 8-7. I'd like to see Jack put a little pressure on here. Everybody, oh, negative. Guys, once again, if you're just tuning in, we are now 5-handed. 5 remain out of the 157 players. We started this thing just about a little over 12 hours ago. These guys are in it to win it. They're playing for almost 11,000 up top. Click that heart and follow us for all of your poker degen needs. We're here with you spewing cash games every Monday and Wednesday. We'll be here tomorrow night with you as well. And then final tables of awesome tournaments as well. And Fox raises, Kasim lets it go.
So now the remaining stacks are all fairly significant, so there's going to have to be really dialed in play. Like, I mean, you're going to get in the pot, which you're going to need to because it's only 5-handed.
Yeah. And now that the stacks are more averaged out, you're going to see a lot more. You're going to see a lot less. Okay, bet, I ship.
Right.
You're going to see a lot more. Okay, I can bet, I can 3-bet, I can maybe even click back for a 4-bet. You know, I mean, you're going to see some a little bit more play now. They got more wiggle room. You know what? What is the game tomorrow night? Let's take a look, Lenny. Let's see if we can fill you in here. Tomorrow night's game, I do not know, actually. Tomorrow night, I can tell you this, though. It's the JK Squared show. It's me and JFK, so if you haven't seen one of those shows, well, get some headphones and tune in. You're going to love it. 5-5 no limit with JK Squared. I didn't even know I was working tomorrow until right now. I was just looking forward to this show. What game is it tomorrow? I don't know. I guess I'll be here. But it is a 5-5 no limit, guys. Chris Money Makerson. Thanks for the kind words, my friend. Always a pleasure.
We're like peanut butter and jelly. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I like it, dude. Like, perhaps you prefer lemon tuna fish? Oh, no, this is America. Spaghetti and meatball? Okay, all right, we like. Yeah, I said headphones, but I actually meant earplugs, JFK. Just get some earplugs. At least if you're Rick and Barstow, he does not like when we get to the Urban Dictionary section of our show.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Have you ever just like put in like a first letter in Urban Dictionary and just kind of see like?
Well, yeah, and that's what I do, but it has to have the term Sacramento in it. That's our thing. So far, we have done, I believe, 11 of them, 10 of them. There they are. So they all start with.
You have it just popped up.
So they all start with Sacramento, but then they were skee ball, slugger, pit stop, broomstick, squeeze, shampoo, turtleneck, memento, spacesuit, and whitefish.
Now, are we creating these or?
No. We are not creating. That's the best part.
These are existing.
We're going into the wild.
And
going into the magical place known as Urban Dictionary and just finding something, but it has to have Sacramento.
Has to have Sacramento.
That is. So it's kind of a I don't know. It's just well, actually, I remember how it got started. That's a whole different story altogether. But definitely tune in. It is the 8 p.m. segment of our show tomorrow evening, guys. So definitely click that heart and follow us. We'll be here live.
Terry, you didn't. Don't remind me.
It's the worst. Don't do that. Do not do that. Whatever.
Do not listen to it.
Okay, guys. Chat rules 101. If somebody types it into the chat, don't Google it. You'll be better off not Googling it. So Fox here from the cutoff raises to 55. And it looks like it's going to get through here. Chris Moneymaker saying the son of Chris Moneymaker, the future champ. Yeah, we've had Chris Moneymaker on the show multiple times. And you know what I love about Chris Moneymaker? He's just a genuine good dude, comes in here and he just barrels a bottle of wine like it's just he ordered the large beer. Like, do you want the normal Sapporo or the large Sapporo? He's like, I'll take the large. And he's just a bottle of wine, just go. And he needles the hell out of Jake, and that makes me happy inside.
That makes me happy too.
It's true.
Sad I haven't seen it. I miss Jake.
Good old Jake.
Hey, Justin. Can you switch to this diamond here?
You cannot switch the diamonds. So it looks like our resident guy there, Wilton. He has first world problems. He has too many chips. Too many chips in his way. That is a problem I'd love to have.
Is there a mute button for the stream?
No, yeah, just click. No, I wouldn't. I mean, can you breathe without a Tic Tac? Sure, but I wouldn't recommend it. You know what I mean? I mean, you could. So it looks like, as you guys can see, the way we reads our cards, when the magical gnomes have the day off, and they do today, is the cards are actually RFID chips in them. So those little diamond patterns in front of each player allow us to read the cards. So Wilton wants a little bit more room, so he's going to scoot down a little bit, but still place his cards over his reader. That way everything works out all right. So we got a heads-up battle here, Andre versus Jack. Battle of the 7 kickers. Oh, God, what a setup. Top 2 pair for Andre, bottom 2 pair for Jack.
That's ridiculous.
Game on. What a shit show of awesomeness. Let's see how they play this. So first, the Battle of the Blinds. This could not be more of a setup.
That's crazy.
So 55K in the pot. Andre's going to bet 45K, almost a pot-sized bet. Let's see what Jack does. It's kind of a scary coordinated board. You don't want to see an 8-9 peel off or any diamond.
Probably got to pop it up while you assume you have the best
I would
hand.
absolutely raise if I was Jack here.
Hope he's got Queen 10 or Jack 10 or something.
This could get ugly quickly. He is going to flat though. We're going to see here.
See, and
that's a great brick card if you're Jack. You can't think that card improved Andre's hand in any way. So this is where it's going to get stuffy. This is where Andre's going to bet it, and Jack's going to come in for a big raise. And I think we're going to have a fan here. I think this is when what they call a crap hits the fan, right? Something like that.
Just by him flatting that right there, I mean, he's going to have to call, but I think he's going to minimize his losses here.
I think he's going to raise here.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I think Jack's going to pop in for a raise. Either way, that's not a small bet. That's not a small bet at all. Boom, all in by Jack. And Andre's going to double recheck, but he's not going anywhere here. And he calls the good old one-chip call. That's rough. That is rough. Jack looking for a 3 and a 3 only. 2 outs remaining. That's a tough spot to be in. Huge pot. Brick City. Now, had it gotten to the river, he could probably get away from it, you know, runner flush potential, 4-card straight potential. But, I mean, honestly, you have that hand. That card on the turn was the perfect, like, just non-diamond brick card you wanted to see.
Yeah.
He thought he could have shoved that on the flop all day, but it didn't matter. Same outcome on the turn. That's what he wanted. That brick card on the turn was great for his hand. He shipped it. That's just a rough spot to be in.
This is true.
So that's huge. They're literally just reversing the stacks here. So, I mean, that's pretty much where Andre was when the hand started, was around that stack size, so they just flipped.
So now Vocal Terror saying, I'm not sure why you wouldn't raise, but if you think about it, there's definitely a lot of counterfeit opportunities with 2 more cards to come. You know, the diamonds could get there. Like, you have a big stack already. You don't want to, you know, put yourself in a spot where you're going to have to call somebody because you're committed so much already. When a bad card comes on the river or something like that.
I'm sorry, I was just listening to the sweet, sweet sound that those plaques make when they click together. They sound so good. Those plaques sound so good. Justin told me when he retires them that I'm gonna get a couple and I'm gonna put them. I'm
he's saying on the turn. I think on the turn is fine. I still maybe I'm more conservative than I used to be in my younger age. Whatever.
Not when you play against me.
I don't even remember what I had. I hit a set on the turn or something like that with pocket fours, and that shouldn't have even been in it or something like that.
So waiting for turn to go all in maximizes your equity against draws.
Oh, I get that.
Fair enough. You know, that's why, guys, again, for those of you guys who are watching right now, I mean, I know it's late, I know it's Sunday night, and if you're watching this right now, you're total poker junkies just like us, and we love it. Totally. This is what I love about our chat, is that our chat is interactive. Our chat, like, I mean, I've been in a lot of streams where the chat is just garbage, right?
Like,
dude, well, not only Yanni, but just super trolly, just crap. And our chat, like, we have a lot of regulars, a lot of really good guys who tune in.
Something you can follow.
Yeah, and we super thank you for that. I mean, like, there's a reason that I recognize the same names over and over and over. And because they're good dudes, dude.
Yeah.
They're good dudes. They come in, and a lot of these guys, not only do I value their opinion, but they come in and they'll even pick up on, like, physical tells. Like, hey, have you noticed every time this guy does this, he's strong? And then we'll start paying attention to that. And yeah, they're spot on. So again, guys, you know, a big part of the stream is you guys in the chat. So I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Obviously, Vocal Terror, Phil Rhodes Jr., Canadian Shooter, the whole 9. You know, the Jared Gray, very cool, very cool. Just the ones I can see. Zanbot, always jumping in the road here. JFK Stones, I don't even know who the hell that guy is. Chris Moneymakerson, right on.
So jealous of your touchscreen.
I know, you like that. And the fact that the end of the pen is actually a little stylus, I can just pop around.
Man. I'm over here just
Sean 415 says, what is the best way to learn to crush tourneys? Yeah, I was going to say, there's a variety of ways, right? I mean, first off, you know, you can never get too much information in poker. Once you stop learning, you might as well just stop playing, because there's always ways to adapt and maneuver. Just play a bunch. For me, it's funny because regardless of the level you play at, you could be the $1 million guy winning these huge tournaments at the WSOP. But you know what? I've seen those guys, and I've seen those guys play at small fun home games too with their buddies, doing $20, $40, $100 binds, whatever, right? At the end of the day, whenever you have a chance for whenever you have a chance for a game, you know what? If anything, I recommend doing that, because then you get a totally different pool of players. A home game versus you know, somebody out of the WSOP, right? A totally different pool of players, and you need to learn to adapt and play against all the different type of players. So I guess what we can say is practice makes perfect. Play a lot, enjoy it. Definitely cool.
Yep.
Sue today says I'll start trying to have productive content. Buddy, don't get too productive, okay? We actually do want some random good trolling, because that's always fun as well. But yeah, Sean 415, you know, honestly, poker books are cheap, right? So I would go read some reviews. I go look around. I'd see, you know, there's obviously a bunch of websites out there. We're partners with a guy, Crush Live Poker, that's more about live cash games. But in general, just never stop learning, never stop reading, and just play a bunch, man. Just play a lot, because you're going to find yourself in similar situations time and time again, and you'll learn how to play them better and better.
You know, and there is, Sean 415 asked best book or training site, and there is definitely an element of study that is good to have. Like if you can, me personally, anytime I'm eating, I'm watching poker. Like when I take a break to eat, I put on some poker, somebody's blog. You know, there's a few great players out there that are making really like not only informative and educational blogs, but like they're entertaining as well. So you know, find something that works for you, that you enjoy watching, and that you can follow and learn from that, and then take that onto the belt as well.
So Sean, 415, there is obviously some paid training sites out there. You're actually halfway there. On Twitch, I have seen an absolute crap ton of really, really, really solid online players who just play like single table sit and goes.
Yeah.
And they stream themselves with a delay, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I would definitely recommend checking out some of these guys. We've actually had one of them here, which was Kevin. And you can see him on Twitch as well, and he plays a lot of online and does really, really well. Cross Life Poker is a good site, like JFK Stone said. A little shout out to Bashir as well. Yamadine, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, very cool. But yeah, I see a lot of fantastic players on Twitch that live stream, and a lot of them specialize in literally just single table sit and goes.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's a solid place to start.
It's a great thing.
And it's free, and it's free. I mean, you know, there's some great paid sites out there, but you know, let's face it, and free is free and knowledge is power, so go with it.
Yeah.
So speaking of power here, Jack's got some power 10s. 20K to call, but that's not enough for him. He's going to pop it up. That's a lot of yellow. He's going to raise it to 75K. Oh, 18K. That's not a bad tournament score. It's solid, Sean. Good, well done.
Definitely.
Yes, JFK Stones. It's Kevin Martin. And no, I mean, technically he's from Canada TV shows. Relax yourself. It's not a bad poker player either. There you go. Phil Rhodes Jr. chiming in with a couple streams to check out.
We do have that Vloggers game coming up.
I was going to say, the Vloggers game coming up should be very insightful, very fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Because you're going to get a lot of live characters in there. And you know what else I'm looking forward to is that the fact that they're vloggers, you know that they're going to be in here doing things on their own social media during the game. So if I was watching that, I'd have our stream open, and then I'd have all these other windows open with all of these guys, because you're going to see like clips from all these different angles. It's like a multi-angle thing. You're going to see a big hand go down, and you're going to see like all of these other shots from it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the multiple perspectives is going to be a lot of fun.
Vlogger game, they're bringing a drone. No way. Are they going to fly the drone inside?
Andrew Neamy's got a drone.
Love
yeah,
it.
he brings the drone for sure.
Well, then we're actually going to be able to see JFK Stones is caught up on the roof. It's not just a myth, it's real.
Raise it up. 75. All in here.
You're caught. You never leave. You just hang out.
You heard me, JFK Stones. Your bed made of cloth. Calm down. So Wilton ships it with 9s. Really puts the pressure on Kasim there. So Kasim was a solid bet. It's always a solid
I know
bet.
what he thought you meant.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
It's always a solid bet when you're jamming in plaques. So it looks like he raised about 75K, and Wilton just ships it. Says, not in my house, buddy. Yes, this stream will actually be available on Twitch as past broadcasts for the next, I think it's like 60, 90 days, something like that, but it will also be pushed over to YouTube as well. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check out our YouTube channel. It's YouTube / I believe, Stones Live Poker as well. Oh God, it sounds so bad when you say our streams are forever on YouTube. You mean that thing? I mean that stupid comment I just said is forever? Oh yeah. Forever. And if you're gonna look for this comment, Yamadine, the shout out, right? I would say that's gonna be about an hour and 40 minutes into the stream, hour and 38 minutes, something like that, ish.
Raise it up.
forever. So Kasim hopping back into it with ace jack from the cutoff. It's gonna pop it up, make it 105K. That's a healthy raise. That's a solid raise. It's a little over 5x the big blind. Yeah, and it's a quarter of a stack. See, the problem is I mean, it's a sizable raise, and if you pick up the pot, that's great. But if anybody else wakes up with a monster and ships it, you're almost like forced to call. Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. It's a rough sizing. I think you get your same point across and risk much less by doing. Blinds are 10 and 20K. You can make it 65K, 70K, and get the same info. And even that's pretty healthy size
55
raise.
might even.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But 55K, somebody who might be on the teeter, you know what I mean, might think about calling. But I think if they're going to fold to 70, they're going to fold to 105. You're right. I mean, you want to pick it up. But right now there is, let's see, 15K plus the 30K.
Post flop.
Yeah.
You know, I want to. There's two streets of value. There is really called a value. You know what I mean? You can get more chips than just like taking the safe route and just trying to pick up.
So for me personally, my kind of sweet spot raise is I just add up how much is in the pot to take, right? So between the 10 and 20K, the small and big, that's 30, plus your antes, that's 3 times 5, so 15, so it's 45K to take. I'm totally comfortable. I feel like equity-wise, make it 45, 50, 55K.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I'm literally betting even money to win it.
Yep.
I'll take it all day, and I still get my point across. Buy-in for this tourney, Sean, was $300.
That's it.
$300 and about 11K up top.
300 can get you 11. That's worth it to just give it a shot.
You know you're drinking poison when it says contains 0% juice.
You know,
damn it.
It's been almost 4 weeks since I've had an energy drink.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's been almost
I'm
4
cutting
seconds.
back on the sugar.
Nice.
I watched myself on the last stream and I was like, I look fat.
Well, your camera adds 5 pounds.
Yeah.
How many cameras are on you? Oh my God. So Fox, who's been relatively not too crazy in the last in the last blind round, give or so, he wakes up with queens, and yeah, he's gonna ship that all day. Oh, and he shows too. Establishing dominance, guys. I only raise with queens. I'm a beast. I always pause at the most weird times. Just like, oh, hey, what's going on? Guys, once again, you are watching Stones Live. We are located just outside Sacramento, California. Or if you're down in the cash game, it's Sacramento or Sacramento, California.
Yeah.
Click that heart and follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday spewing cash. Tomorrow night we have a nice 5-5 no limit game with the JK Squared commentary team. That's going on from 7 to 10 p.m. tomorrow.
Stacks are still pretty even.
Yeah, solid, dude. And Andre is sitting on that after the big hand with him and Jack earlier, sitting on a million chips, which is great.
Million.
A milli. A milli. You don't like that song?
$1
million. God, there's only a little over 3 million in play. He's got damn near a third of the chips. Life is good for Andre right now, especially since waking up King Jack suited in the cutoff. Looks like he's shipping in a stack. Guys, those lavender chips are 5K chips, so that is definitely a raise. Let's make it 80K to go. 4X raise here. Oh, and Jack with the same hand. Let's see what King
I always love
Jack.
the same hand matchup because then it's just about, you know.
Well, and this is, you know what we see a lot, and when they have the same hand matchup, is it's all about position. So, or in this case, it's about aggressiveness. So, Andre is the first aggressor, and Jack doesn't want to be involved. Now, likewise, if they were a little deeper and the raise wasn't as big, they play that out. There's a solid chance if everybody bricks everything that Jack takes that, because position is power, man.
Yep.
Do you have queens again? Yeah, I always got queens. If you ask me what my hand is, I'm just queens.
Queens.
Which ones? I don't know. Colored ones?
I hate that question because no, there's no right answer to
Yeah,
that question.
no. I just say I had a red and a black one.
Red and a black one. That's a good answer.
You know why? Because if you had 2 red ones and 2 black ones, you wouldn't be asking me that question.
Probably true.
Or just say a blue and a green one.
Yeah.
Let them figure it out.
Online players.
No, just don't even allude to 4-color decks. I had a purple one. Don't worry about it.
Right. over.
Feldenhall, I believe he did.
Not like he had threes.
You know, and the thing is, and this is going to be some interesting dynamics. You're going to see some weird hands play out at this point too, because, I mean, sure. Let's see, what are they guaranteed here for in 5th place? We'll take a look here. Yeah, but Phil Rose Jr. says yes, he folded ace time, just did 4x open, tight but not awful. So right now, 5th place is guaranteed $2,200. But you got to remember, the difference between 2,200 and 11K is a lot, right? And so you've came this far. Everybody here is going for the big dog money. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And so it's not. They're not just trying to like, okay, whatever. I'll gamble, coin flip with you for $100. I mean,
Playing all day.
I don't want to coin flip for $9 grand. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Which is the difference between busting out 6th or busting out 5th and busting out 1st.
And these guys are showing a lot of experience and expertise as well, so I don't expect to see anything like that from
Yeah.
these guys at all.
So coming down to this board, 9-7-3, couple of clubs, whiff city for both hands. Fox has a lead. Neither player likes it. Jack first to bet. Jack is the original aggressor, and it gets through. He c-bets. God, that feels good when you're the original aggressor. You completely brick a flop. You c-bet, and the guy can't fold fast enough. You're
away.
like, God.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, solid. Okay, so 197K is our shortest stack, and even then, our shortest stack still has, 10 bigs worth. It's enough to put a dent in anybody else. It's not like it's an insta call unless you're. I mean, even if you have the million in chips,
Yeah.
it's still 20% of your stack. And you don't. It's not necessarily that you're risking only 20% of your stack. It's that, do you really want to double up the short guy? I mean, you want to take him out, but you also don't want to double him up because then he's not so short anymore.
Yeah. That's when you get really deep into tournaments and you start having like the ICM considerations of value of stacks and things like that. Definitely don't want. It depends on how short they are, but most of the time they're not so short that if they double up, they're not going to be a threat to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is funny. So for any of you guys who may be tuning in for your first time tonight, this is obviously some solid final table tournament poker.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night we will have the exact opposite, which will just be a crazy loosey-goosey $5 no limit cash game extravaganza where people are just shipping with crazy crap and doing side prop bets and everything. So if you want a good balance between tournament and cash, after watching tonight, make sure you tune in tomorrow night as well. Because they are very different beasts. I actually had somebody the other day say, oh, there's no difference between the two. And I'm like,
Seriously?
yeah, well, he knows, he obviously knows that, the blinds increase and this and that. But in his head, he's like, what the hell's the difference? You play the game the same way either way. And I'm just like, okay. So what's the next tournament you're playing in?
I was going to say,
get on your
let me
table?
play with that guy, please. Set me up. Sounds like easy money.
Big Mac Stack says, for sure, calling a third of your stack with Ace King is uncomfortable because you just have to fold when you don't hit. And it's rough. Oh my God. Yeah, tomorrow night's game, holy crap, you got AD, Matt, and Bill H with Harlan as the first alternate. Good God. That is going to be a 5-5 game from hell, or better yet, heaven.
Yeah.
Definitely tune in tomorrow night. That is going to be action juicy McJuicerson.
I'm going to go with like AD all in on the 4th hand with 4-7 suited.
I'm telling you right now, Bill H is either going to spew money in that game or just run it over and rack out like 10K. It just depends how Bill runs.
Yeah, hashtag bloodbath is probably right.
Blinds up next hand, guys.
Do a little setup. Oh, look at this. Okay, so we got a raise from Kasim called by Jack. He whiffed it, but Kasim is open-ended here on the board. Look at that, almost 50-50 equity here. Jack checks. Kasim basically is on auto fire here, and I don't think there's much Jack can do with ace-4. He's literally got air at this point. All right, guys, so we are just popping now into the next blind round. Blinds are up 15 and 30 with a 4K ante. Guys, it is expensive to play. That's 65K. That's 65K in every single pot before any action. That's crazy. I mean, if you're a guy sitting on a little less than 200K, dude, you can increase your stack size 33% just by shoving and having everybody fold.
Yep.
good strategy if you got the right position for it. You don't have to have much five-handed to ship in late position, especially from the button.
The way I play, I don't have to have much at all. Just ship it. It doesn't matter. Everybody thinks I never have it anyways. I could show somebody the nuts. Show them just a monster royal flusher like I call. You don't have it. These are still my cards. So right off the bat, under the gun, Kasim waking up with ace deuce. He is going to let it go. The worst position to have a semi-decent hand. And Wilton going to let it go as well. Over to Andre with king six. He's going to let it go. Andre seems to have snugged up a little bit, actually. I mean, him being the chip leader, I'm kind of surprised he didn't, make a little move on the button there, because Andre's that kind of player. Mm-hmm. Then again, it looks like it's going to work out for the better anyways, with Jack waking up with a naked ace here. And he's going to pop in a raise. 55K to go. Oh, I lied. I'm up. Now, do you have a preference on looking at your cards at the end when it's on you, or before, or what do you like to do?
Lately I've caught myself taking a peek at the card when it comes to me, like each one, separately. Okay. Which I didn't used to do that, actually, and it's past like a couple weeks or something like that.
Hey, why don't you guys chime in the chat? What do you guys think? When you guys play, obviously most of you guys are players. When you guys play, do you look at the cards right when they come to you, like one at a time? Do you look at you get the two and then instantly just look at them regardless of position, or do you wait till it's on you to act? I get all sides of this coin because I see why people.
There's a lot of different reasons for all the ways.
Exactly, and I see why people wait for them because then they want to see how other players react when they look at their cards. Likewise, I feel that everybody's already looking at me when it's on me to act. So then they get like a perfect front row seat for my initial reaction when I look at my hand. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Ben Jazzle chiming in. I don't look at them. I just bet and pray. I love it. Let's get that on a bumper sticker.
That's good.
Lenny Lopez 23 says, "Wait for my turn. Time. Look early. Got another look early in there.
I owe my bookie 42K and have to do Twitch to get some money to pay him off.
Solid.
I'm not getting paid for this. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I love it. No, he just does this for the love. Maybe it's for the love. Boom shakalaka. So we got a couple votes for look early. A vote for I never look, screw you. And then I don't look until the river. Wait for my turn all the time. Nice. Bill Rose Jr. says, wait until it's on me for fear of tipping off earlier players in Hold'em tournaments. In Omaha, I just look when I get them too many cards to wait. I like, when I look at them one at a time, I feel like I get fake aces all the time. I get the ace first, and then I get the four, and I'm like,
I think that's why I started doing it, because I like the anticipation of the...
Nothing feels better when you see that first ace, and then the next one, you're like, is it going to be an ace? Is it going to be an ace? Is this going to happen? All right, so Wilton here under the gun raises to 75K with Jack 9 suited. I like Wilton's plays kind of been like all over the place, and I like it. It kind of keeps players guessing on where Wilton's at. He's done this earlier. He's kind of raised with some marginal hands in early positions, and then had some beastie hands, in later positions. He kind of played the same way, and it gets through. So Fox really looking to make a move here. He's got about 3 bigs, a little over 3 bigs. One's at 15K, 30K with a 4,000 ante. I like it. Looks like we have some family in the chat, rooting for family playing the tournament. I always love that. That's what I love too. And I tell people, if you're like, oh, it's a great stream, I want to play in the stream. First off, you can always play in the stream. I'm gonna punch in the chat there how to hop on the stream and get into our cash games. You can call, text, email, all of the above. But I always tell people, you want to get in the stream, just final table one of our big tournaments, man. And then you can tell your friends and family they're in here.
Just final table tournament, no
easy money.
big deal.
I've done it. I'm really good at getting ninth. Just ask JFK. He knows what's up.
It's good
Easy
enough.
money. All you got to do is get the top 9. Shout out to Yamadine's uncle. Yamadine in here sweating it. Jack waking up with ace 4. Oh, Kasim. Nice. Is Yamadine's uncle right on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Even more. Yeah, make it raise to 60 to go.
Raise the 80.
Oh, raise to 80. There we go.
Sorry.
Kidding. All right, Fox, and that sucks. I mean, Fox is getting on the short stack. He's just looking for any hand to push. Queen 10 would have been great had Jack folded, but instead Jack pumps it to 80, and you hate life with Queen 10. You know, and that is when you're short stacked, it's tough. So solid little chip spread there. Top couple spots. Definitely Fox is looking to double up here. Over to Kasim on the button. And he's gonna let it go. Kasim's been pretty quiet when he has position on the button. If I was him, I'd start maybe trying to take advantage of that a little bit. Because it's like when you fold a lot of your buttons, then all of a sudden when you're raising, people like know you have something, or at least think you have something. Sometimes I make it a point, like when I'm like one of the blinds, right? Because it's not. I mean, if you fold and you're small and you're against a big, everybody's so tempted to like start raising. You know, sometimes I'll make it a point. I'll be like, hey, look, gonna go crazy here. I'm actually gonna fold. You know what I mean? Because I got nothing, right? Because I want to let them know like I'm capable of folding. So when I raise, hopefully give me a little more respect. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So A66 here, Whiff City for everybody. Oh yeah, Almadine, I'm not underestimating him, buddy, at all.
Plugging in my phone. Totally dead.
I don't think you can really underestimate any of these players. When you make it to the final 9,
You're all good.
when you final table, it's like, trust me, all the fish have been weeded out by now.
Yep.
Okay, there's like very rarely do you have a final table where there's like, okay, look at those two guys are super obvious. Yeah, sure, go for it.
I always hate like turning my phone back on after it's been dead for over an hour, and just like
The stream of messages.
Just everybody's like thinking I'm, hit by a truck, whatever. Because I'm so quick at responding most of the time.
So Fox here, looking for some love under the gun, gets nothing. Over to Kasim, who's also going to muck Wilton with jacks. And again, it always is so disguising when you wake up with a big hand on the button, you know, because it just, everybody wants to assume you're super button thieving.
Raise it up.
Let's see how big this raise is. So the blinds are 15 and 30K. He's going to make it 130. That's a huge raise. Lots of large raising so far at this table. I don't know if that could be indicative of a sign earlier when smaller raises were getting looked up more. You know, I've seen that kind of happen in
Jack's
tournaments.
gonna look well.
But maybe, I mean, he's getting, again, it's what you want, right? Because of this particular case, I think anything less than that gets a pretty quick call from Jack. 130 might get Jack to reconsider and muck it like he's doing here.
Because it almost looks like, you don't want to go all in, but you want to try to like, steal the blinds.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's a large. When you're at this stage and you have a lot of chips, like Jack does and Wilton does, you often don't like getting involved and dedicating a lot of money pre-flop into other guys who can actually stack you out of a tournament.
Yeah.
Especially when there's some smaller stacks at the table, you really want to make sure that those guys are going to go out before you. You want to watch those guys get picked off. And we got dealer chains to Carl. Crazy Carl. If you've played poker around Sacramento, you've seen Carl. He's the man.
Cool dude, for sure.
If you like giving the dealers crap at the table, Carl will give it right back to you. I assure you. All right, that's enough of that coffee.
Yeah, don't talk crap to Sarah. Good.
Carl and Sarah. Actually, you know what? I think almost all the dealers here are just they're always good.
Nobody
You know, they
will
have thick
take it.
skin. Yeah, they're all good. They're all good spirited peeps. You know what I mean?
You know, I rarely see that here. I rarely see like players berating dealers here. There's a handful
No.
of them, you know.
And you know what? And it's fun. You know what I've seen actually a lot more is on the rare occasion that a player here does berate a dealer. They don't even have to call the floor. All the other players at the
totally.
table instantly stick up for him and like, hey, bro, you need to relax.
Yeah,
This guy's cool. You need to chill. You know.
totally.
So Wilton running good, drinking that run good. Wakes up with Ace King, pops it up to 80 here from the cutoff. Andre with King Jack lets it go. Wow. Healthy, solid fold by Andre there. I think a lot of players would probably call that and take a flop, being in position with King Jack with a big stack.
Why not?
Drake RX chiming in for Jenna and Ray. What up? Sweet baby Ray. Good old Jenna. Fox definitely looking for that double up sometime sooner than later.
Yeah, Dracaric's making a good point. A lot of the dealers here are actually very good players themselves.
Yeah, yeah. And a master of the board game Catan. I've heard good stuff about that game.
Huh.
Yeah, which is actually it's kind of a different stigma because a lot of times dealers get hammered for not being very good players. But
Yeah.
I see a lot of the dealers here that do play. I mean, not all the dealers play, but the dealers that do play, relatively speaking, they do pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, I see them at final tables, and it's great. Everybody loves it too because they're always super good spirits. They're good people to have at the table.
Yeah.
I mean, they understand the integrity of the game. They keep things fun. They keep things light. So Restia in the house in the chat. What's going on? Thanks for joining us. Andre does make it 70K to go, and everybody folds, taking on down. Not bad, 65K in every pot to take down. So right now, if Fox just literally shipped it and everybody folded, he'd double up.
Man.
Andre here under the gun, ace 10 suited. Let's see what he does here. I don't know whether he was reaching for chips or reaching for plaques. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you click that heart and follow us. And also, these chips, the purple there are 5K chips, the yellows are 10K, and the blacks are 25K. The blacks are 1K chips. Yamadine, the payouts are scrolling right there across the bottom. So he raises to 80K. Fox wakes up with ace anything and ships it for 61K all in. Nobody can blame him there. Now Wilton, so Wilton here, he wakes up with sevens. Obviously he doesn't care about Fox's all in. He's more scared of Andre here. It's 50K more to call. Looks like he's going to make the call. Now what you might see is you see a lot of players in these situations in tournaments end up kind of playing relatively light against each other because they're betting into a dry side pot just to win each other's money. But if by checking it down they maximize the potential of busting out a player. But that's not always the case, but you see that a lot in tournaments, so we'll see how this hand plays out. Generally, I'd like to think that if a player is betting in this scenario, they're a little bit stronger because they're really not. You don't want to just bluff the other guy out and then have the all-in beat you.
Yeah.
You know. So if you're betting into a side pot, you're generally not doing that with nothing.
I think it's generally true.
But you never know. It's poker. We've all seen crazy stuff.
Like you said, these guys get down to this level, and there's no fish.
Yeah.
They all know what they're doing. Every move is calculated.
So Fox and his ace is kind of toast. Wow, I am so wrong here. Look at this. Wilton 4-bets to 200K.
Wow.
He is trying to isolate heads up against Fox now. You see Andre looking. Andre's doing some math here. He's seeing how much Wilton has in front of him and how much more it's going to cost him. Wow, that is a aggressive take. It's an aggressive line to take if you're Wilton here. A lot of players, if they either fold or they're actually going to call that and then maybe check down. Wilton wants none of that, and Andre says, "I'm coming along, buddy. You think you can blow me out of this hand?"
Goodness.
Dude, game on. Ooh. Now this pot's gonna be, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be so huge. Man.
I was hoping we'd get through a whole stream without.
No.
Reference to the one whose name we do not mention.
No, we do not mention. Do not mention him. No POTUS. Hashtag no POTUS.
Oh,
All right, so Fox all in for 61K. It's going to put the main pot somewhere around like $1, probably after the blinds and everything. Let's call it about 200K-ish, something like that. And then all the rest is going to be on the side. That means there's going to be a side pot of like another, what, 400? No, another 200 or 300 on the side. Good God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Phil Rhodes Jr. I'm kind of surprised he didn't just flat there. And then see. So let's see how this plays out.
He's got that.
I mean, does Andres have a strategy here, or does he just think he has the best hand?
I don't know. I'm surprised by Wilton's 4-bet, and I'm borderline surprised by Andre's call.
Yeah.
I think Andre is.
He studied him. He studied Wilton for like a minute,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Didn't feel that he was in that rough a shape.
And you know, and it's tough because if you're in Andre's shoes, for me personally, Ace 10 is a hand I'd much rather be raising with than calling a raise with, especially a 4-bet. So, well, technically it's just a 3-bet because the all-in was for less. So.
Yeah.
Jack 8, so Whiff City here on the board. This actually gives counterfeiting potential for Wilton's hand.
Yeah.
And Wilton just insta-fires. Wilton has no mercy. And this is crazy because actually Fox hasn't beat. He is, but now that he's built a side pot,
Yeah.
he's got to go for it. If this was a dry side pot, he might not bet this.
Right. And Andres, I mean, unless he's just got like a soul read on him, like
Yeah.
you can't call. But look, he's
I mean, and
Seriously
it's
thinking about
normally
it.
in this all-in situation, like we said, it's very unlikely for a player to be applying all this pressure if they don't have a monster.
Yeah.
So Wilton's hand, for me, if I'm Andre, looks even way bigger than sevens.
Yeah.
It looks at least ace king, ace queen, or a higher pair than sevens. Nines, tens, queens, kings. You know.
tens, nines, and tens do that a lot. Yeah.
So I wouldn't. I think Andre's going to be a little surprised when Wilton flips over sevens. Actually,
At least he hedged himself a
that's
little bit.
best case scenario
Yeah.
for Fox. Look at this, and the other guy, and Andre would have picked up a flush draw, nut flush draw, and he would have bricked out anyways. So look at that. So Wilton takes the side, and Fox. That's ideal dream scenario for Fox right there.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, get triple up. That right there is huge. How good does that feel when your tournament life is on the line and you get this massive triple up? Fox thought he was screwed. After Wilton puts in the re-raise and then fires on the flop, Fox is like, I'm done. Look, that's what he's talking about right there. He's like, dude, Wilton has tens, queens, kings. I'm screwed. You know what I mean?
side pot with 100.
You probably broke even. No, you made a little.
They were mine now.
Yeah, you have what, 92? 92. Yeah, so you made a little. You bet 210. So
That definitely wasn't played like really orthodox in any way. They've been playing for a long time, and sometimes you kind of give yourself like a false positive on a tell, things like that. So you do things that you might not regularly do because of just the exact moment that you're in.
Yeah.
I know my.
And this, and honestly, we see that a lot too on the stream, where everybody in the chat's just watching, because we, I mean, even though we do it live and we don't cut and we don't, it is live, but you're still seeing such a small subsample. I mean, these guys have been playing with each other for 13 hours. Okay. So if they don't have a read by now, it ain't gonna happen. There's a reason they got here, right? So I mean, these guys have history. These guys know how each other plays. I mean, it's the nature of the game. All right, so to the flop, 7-8 versus 10 deuce, couple of diamonds. Wilton, solid lead here. Wilton checks first, so does Andre behind. And deuce, now he has a pair with his flush draw. Wilton's gonna fire in, pots at 80K.
This reminds me of the famous Tom Dwan hand against Elliot Lesser on, I think it was Poker After
Flush
Dark.
draw, then you turn a pair with it too?
He ended up having 10 high on the river, but there was 2 queens out there.
Oh yeah.
Bluffed him off of it with a $72,000 bet on the river or something.
Nice.
Something ridiculous. Yeah, versus 9-9.
How often do you guys use tells? I use tells a lot, but not just like, not the typical rounders like a hand over the mouth, a facial tick, whatever. I mean, yeah, those are great too.
Really subtle.
But there's so many other things, right? Just the way that people in general like play with their chips, right? The way that people like not only betting patterns as well as bet sizing, but the way that they just put their chips out, right? There's so many different moves where somebody just throws out their chips versus somebody puts them out and counts them methodically, versus somebody who grabs a stack and you know that they didn't even count the stack and they just put it out there. There's so many different things. I use a variety of these tells all the time. If you look around YouTube, there is and just literally go to YouTube, punch in poker tells. There is a variety of videos that, some obviously way better than others, that give some really, really good insight to tells that you may have not even thought about looking at.
There's some scientific research, data, and stuff like that behind like common tells, but I really like to look at the individual and pay attention to what they do, and if you're playing with them for 3-4 hours at least, then you can really by that second half you can start to pick up on things that they what's the result of whatever action they were little thing would ever do.
Exactly, and I mix their tells with their play style as well. You know what I mean? It's not just like if a guy, typical rounders, right? If a guy leans back, he acts strong.
It's never just that simple.
It's never that simple, and it's different for every player too. And it's different for every player too. You know what I mean? I guess what we're saying is, at the end of the day, when you're playing poker, just pay attention.
It's about being observant.
Pay attention to all the players, every hand, even if you're not in the hand. Which actually brings me to our next point. I used to be the guy who I'm sitting there on my iPad, and I'm just watching Netflix, and I'm like waiting for my hand. If it's a good hand, no, cool, whatever. I'm playing or I'm pulling. That's the wrong approach to take.
Prop,
maybe, right? Yeah, if that's your job, but but if that's the wrong approach to take, man.
Just like you're waiting for aces.
If you're trying, if you want to play poker, play poker.
Yeah.
Be in the game mentally, be in the game physically, be observant, be aware, play the game. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna do that, please at least pay attention.
Yeah.
Not hold up the game because you're watching Netflix.
Right on. Looks like we got some new people who just chimed in, who just tuned in for Kasim. Right on. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in, Sabrina and Parisa.
Thanks, guys.
Right on. Welcome, welcome. Nice one, Drake. All right, so Wilton's gonna pop up to 80 here with King 10 from the cutoff. over to Jack. Everybody needs an internet father.
So either of you opposed to talking about chop?
We jump in my ship. Finally.
What's the point then?
Done deal.
What do you mean chop by chip? Yeah, they do their mass and they chop it by chips.
So they're talking about, he says chop by chips, and what that actually is, guys, is relatively speaking, it's called an ICM chop. And that would basically be add up everybody's chips, break down the prize pool, and then you get paid depending on how many chips you actually have. So it's essentially like cashing out your tournament chips.
Want to do that? We can hear about it and see what it is.
Yeah, 15.5 minutes.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like the chip count, but that's the way I chop, right?
So it looks like they're still talking about possible chop. They're going to call over the floor man,
I
Justin,
can do better than that one.
Cable 11, you want to talk?
and they're going to discuss it. Russ, thank you for joining the chat, buddy. Really appreciate
Hey,
it.
appreciate it. Thanks. We try to keep it lively.
He's right here.
So let's listen in.
Raise. 80,000.
So Andre raise it up to 80K here with deuces from the cutoff. Over to Jack on the button. The naked ace here, and he's going to let it go. And Fox is as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see these players just kind of fold this hand, get on to the next hand, strictly because they were already talking about doing an ICM chop. All right, so now we're going to listen in.
They're probably going to chill out for a minute. Yeah.
Alright, you guys want numbers for an even chop, right?
Chip count, yeah.
Oh, for a chip count? Can you guys stack your chips in stacks of 20? I'll need to count everyone down for a chip chop. No, they're gonna talk chop real quickly in a second. I'm gonna get everyone's chip count and we're gonna see ICM numbers for you guys. We'll start with C1. I will use your assistance, Paul.
I'm not, that's no good for you. I don't have enough chips to make it worth my while.
Not a problem.
I'll lose some money on it, so.
Okay. You can keep like.
Playing chop and just do it.
So we're gonna get some accurate chip counts here, and then kind of go over like if anybody has any doubts about what an ICM chop actually is. We'll have some info here coming up for you.
Yeah, exactly. So technically, ICM stands for Independent Chip Model Chop. And what they do is they're going to add up the remaining prize pool.
They assign a dollar value to the amount of chips that are left based on blinds and based on how many players are there.
No, somebody told him I
guess I need to
And the prize
understand
pool,
how
I
it
guess.
works.
Here we go. He's going to explain it
I've
now.
never chopped by hand.
That's why you don't know.
After this hand, we'll plug in the numbers.
Okay.
And you can just see what
Okay.
you're happy with.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, the clock still is live right now. And Kasim is going to ship all in here for 339K. Now, Wilton does wake up with a pocket pair. He wakes up with threes.
Those pesky threes.
And this is interesting. So Wilton has a sizable stack here. He's got $1 million, but it's not like it's cheap for him to call. It's still about a third of his stack, about 30%.
Big chunk.
And you know what's tough, too, for me is I've been in these situations where you're talking about a chop, but you can't stop the clock to talk about it. So you're still playing, but you also don't want to be the guy who steps on your own stuff and then just like busts out right now. And then the second you walk out the door, you're not even away from the table, and they're like, "Okay, you want to chop it up?" And you're like, "I feel so."
Have you ever had that happen?
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
It's the worst.
Feels so bad.
It feels so tough.
Wilton is definitely taking that into consideration too. Likely, the problem with threes too, obviously, about calling it all in is best case scenario. Best case, you're at a coin flip, right? He's got 2 overs. Most likely, you're dominated if he's got any pocket pair. So.
Yeah, that situation's a little bit more clear.
Drake said, just talking about that. He had a guy start yelling at him when I busted him and then chopped the next hand. Okay, so Justin's going to do a quick chip countdown, and we're going to talk about a possible ICM chop here. And Fox turned it down at first because he didn't know what it was. He hadn't really done this before.
Yeah.
So he's going to get an exact number here. So real quick, you can see the number scrolling across the bottom. First place currently is 11K. Second place is 6,700. Third is 45, almost 4,600. Fourth is 3,100. And fifth is 2,200. So as you start to get those big pay jumps in the final spots, you see this a lot of time in tournaments when it's almost more equitable, like especially in even chops, where they're like, okay, well, you know, we could even chop, basically there's 5 of us left, we can all chop and get almost second place money, as opposed to 4 of us or 3 of us getting screwed right now
I
and
think
taking
that
less.
really works when it's a lower stakes tournament and you haven't been there as long. You play maybe a daily and you've been there for 6 hours or 7 hours.
Yeah.
But when you've been here all day and the stakes are like, you know, above 5K or whatever for first place, you're gonna want to get like feel like you have like a fair balance, like to what you're getting. So you take the whole prize pool, divide up the number of chips, assign a dollar amount to each chip, and then that's a little bit more fair, I think.
So I think that's pretty much what he's done now, and he's just counting the last player's stack. Here we go.
Like this. Andres, you would get 6,476. You would get 56.29. You would get 42.27, 45.27, and 67.77. He gets 64.76. Guys, keep in mind too that there is a $300 entry to our 40K tournament the last Sunday of July that someone would take in this deal as well. You can give it to the chip leader. You can definitely do that if that's He's the chip leader. He's got 972,000. You have 867. So if you guys want to vote on this, I have the vote cards here. 5 yes cards, 5 no cards. You just keep them face down. If you agree with this deal, you put the yes card forward face down. If you would like to keep playing, please give us
that's good.
your no card.
how that works.
The key is it's not a straight percentage, it's the ICM model of chip chopping that takes in also your potential future of what.
So this is a good anonymous way to do it so they don't know who actually voted no if it doesn't go through.
And get your discards face down, please.
Face down.
As we're going to open them up, if we have 5 yeses, then we have a deal here. Congratulations.
Oh, look at the dealer just spreads them all yeses.
We flapped a yes.
Yahtzee.
For you two gentlemen and for you, I need a copy of your ID. We have a little bit of paperwork with your guys' payout. Also, if I could get everyone under the bullhead real quick, we're going to just take a quick photo of you for our Twitter page.
Very cool, right on.
For our June last Sunday tournament. So yeah, IDs from you 3, and then we'll walk over the bull and we'll start getting you guys.
You know, it's always a good thing when they're asking for your ID because that means you made that money. Very cool. X chimes in on fading the tax cap.
We'll see it in 20 minutes.
All right, guys, so once again, too, in case you missed that, you couldn't hear it, Fox is going to be taking 5th place here, technically, for 42.27, which, again, I think is like 3rd place money anyways. And then 4th place, Kasim, he takes 45.67. Then we have Jack, who takes 56.29. Then we have, then we have Andre, who takes 64.76, and Wilton is our big winner at 67.77. So everybody gets a big chunk of the pie.
$300.
For $300, worst case, this guy's taking 4,200, 4,500, 56. Dude, payday.
Good day.
Not bad for a Sunday, dude. It's a solid day. Guys, we know it's late. We appreciate all of you who've been tuning in with us. Very, very cool. We will be here tomorrow night for a sick 5-5 no limit game. The exact opposite of what you just watched. It's going to be some crazy
Definitely going to be fun.
spewing.
Yeah.
So don't miss it out. I'm Justin Kelly, along with Darren Bradford.
See you guys.
Right on, guys. Maybe.
Maybe we go. Maybe we don't.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe we pull in